Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Risen Esports. I'm your host, Quetzalcoatl, along with Ice. Ice, say hello to the ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. It's going to be an exciting night. I can't wait to get into this.
Alrighty, we have here Defend the Faith versus Edge of Diamonds. Ice, tell us a little bit about these two teams.
So these are both draft league teams. Obviously, this is the draft league. And looking at where they stand, they both were in the same bracket for the regular league, for the regular season of the draft league. Defend the Faith did end that 5-0, with the Edge of Diamond coming in at 2-3. And looking a little closer at the teams, it looks like just a quick off the top little mental gymnastics of math there. Defend the Faith uh, it looks to be about a low emerald team with the side of, if I can get my screens right, Edge of Diamond looking to be a high platinum team. So that's kind of where we're at right now in terms of the expected uh, elo of what these games are going to be at. But it's definitely going to be an exciting game when you get into this kind of area of league where they kind of know what they need to do, but they're not still fully fleshed out in their mechanics and everything. But those few champions that they know and they know well and they play them well, if they get their hands on them, you can see a very spicy and fun game, and that's what I'm looking for today.
Alrighty, well, let's catch up with the bans right now. We have Defend the Faith banning Brand, Xin Mundo, and Aatrox versus Edge of Diamonds banning out Zeri, Seraphine, Volibear, Silas, and Viego. What are these bans telling you? Other than just being OP outright and being super tanks or super supports or super junglers, what do you see here, Ice?
So I see here, going with Edge of Diamonds first with their bans. The Zeri is one of those you said OP picks that is also very safe and can scale well into almost any matchup, and one that can dash around a fight very easily. So not letting them get their hands on that on the side of Defend the Faith is a smart choice on red side because it is very much a first pickable champion. Along with both the Volibear as well. The interesting ban here, I think, is more targeted as the Seraphine ban. It took a few
Mm-hmm.
nerfs the past few months, and it's not as strong as it once was, especially when they hit the Q minion kill points. That it's harder to farm with. It's not as good of a support anymore. So that's definitely a target ban to take that off the board. They don't want to see that. But then on the other side, they basically banned out junglers. To start off, you have Brand and Xin Zhao, and then Mundo is a flex between the jungle and the top. More often top, but it has been played mid, and I've seen it played mid, and it can be strong as just like a meaty tank. But
Right.
taking those off really just set the tone of a lot of these kind of farm it out OP style junglers. You are not allowed to play them.
Well, let's go ahead and start talking about the team comps now. Now we're going to be waiting for the spectator delay to go down. So we have here Ornn, J4, Azir, Varus, and Soraka. I can see a little bit of a team comp going on here. It's like the usual wombo combo. You just start laying ults on top of each other with Soraka just making sure everyone stays alive. What do you think about this team comp?
It's your stock standard basic team fight composition. You have Ornn for the Ornhorn over the top, Varus and J4 very easy to lock players down. You have Chains of Corruption. You have the I think it's Cataclysm. I don't always remember J4's off the top of my head, but
Mm-hmm.
it's you just
Cataclysm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you just lock them all together, and then Azir uses his soldiers, and if anybody gets out, you're just gonna shuffle them back away. Ornn gets in there, starts to deal a lot with his flame breath. And then Soraka is going to just lay a silence over that in any team fight. So it makes it very just easy to execute. And that's what I like to see out of a lot of these mid to high elo teams is where's the ease of execution coming in? And this right here is very easy to execute on that front.
All right. And then we have Sion, Diana, Syndra, Kog'Maw, Lulu. I am shocked that any team in any competition chose Kog'Maw. That is just saying, hi, everyone. I am your target of the game. What do you think about this team comp over here?
I mean, You're shocked by the Kog'Maw, I'm shocked by the Diana. Diana is one of these champions that just isn't a champion right now. She's super weak, she doesn't have a
Hmm.
lot she doesn't have stats really, the items don't fit her well, so it's interesting to see her picked up. I just haven't seen her do well even in solo queue or in competition. I was actually casting yesterday, and there was a Diana Yasuo combo that just could not get off the ground because the Diana was too weak at all stages of the game. So it's definitely interesting to see that picked up. But with the Kog'Maw, they actually got a few buffs to the AP ratios, I think. So
Hmm.
I'm glad to see that it's being picked up again because I love a good Kog'Maw Lulu. It's a hyperscale. You have the Lulu, keep it safe. Syndra and Sion are there. It's all gonna hinge for Edge of Diamonds on this Diana. Can this Diana get ahead and stay ahead enough where their disadvantages aren't gonna matter?
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Ice. We're getting into the game, loading up now. We have Defend the Faith versus Edge of Diamond. We'll see if the first couple of minutes are nice and calm or explosive level ones, 2 through 3. So until then, we're gonna see how fast we're gonna load into the spectators delay. We'll see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen Esports. We're diving right into the game. All right, Ice. It's looking like they're having a little bit of different strategies here in mind. One's invading and one's doing a 5 point. Hopefully, one team sees the other before anything happens.
Yeah, I mean, so the side of Edge Knight, they went for a traditional 5 point, make sure that no crazy invades are happening, and you can see that's exactly what the point of the 5 point is. Syndra took a flag for her troubles of standing there, nothing to it. She gets to walk the lane and is going to be full health by the time minions arrive. And because of the information gained by her standing there, Lulu was able to walk in and drop a ward onto the Raptors, because when you do an invade, you're always looking to see what information am I getting out of this? Am I looking for a kill? They don't have a lot of kill pressure with an Ornn, Jarvan, Soraka, Varus, and Azir. So really what you're looking for there is to get a ward down onto one of these buffs or onto one of these camps to see where is this Diana starting, how is she going to be pathing. Obviously none of that happened because Syndra was there and they didn't want to push in any farther. So the actual side that won out on that was the side of Edge of Diamonds. So now it's all laning and understanding clear speeds and going to maximize your lane potentials.
Now, going off lane potentials, as you can see, the junglers have opted to start on the opposite side of the map, yet following the same path. So they are both prioritizing bot lane. Not that it's anything unique or special, but they want to make sure that their bot lane gets off to a good start.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. So Diana skipped her red and her Krugs, assuming we know that it didn't happen, but assuming that J4, because he walked in again, potentially got a ward onto the red buff. So she totally skipped it to hide her pathing, but in a sense still gave up where she is. So Jarvan's going for a full 6 camp, whereas Diana is going for a 4 camp clear into a Scuttle Crab push and allowing her bot lane to then help her out with that in case J4 shows up. With J4 going for a full 6 camp, he's going to be slightly stronger, but still going to struggle a little bit just because, and you can see here, the perks of going for that 4 camp is Diana gets an early gank off if you're looking at the mini-map, and nothing really comes of it. She just gets to walk in there, but that's the kind of thing that you get now. Since she showed herself, she has to go take her red, but it's a different path that you don't see too often, and an interesting one that is a little bit questioning as to why, because she's not really gaining anything by going for this kind of route.
Now, currently we have Kog'Maw Lulu pushing in. They're to me, they're looking like they're a little brave here. We have J4 trying to sneak in around the brand new try. Does his gank pay off? It's going. J4 goes in onto the Kog'Maw. The Kog'Maw's trying to walk out. Lulu's trying to defend. He pops Ghost, and unfortunately has to pop. The Lulu has to pop heal, and unfortunately the Kog'Maw has to back. They barely survived, having to burn 2 summoners. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and you can see just what it cost them on that push. Lulu is running low on mana. Kog'Maw has low health. There's another gank.
Hold on, J4 is going on to the Cinder. The Cinder has to flash. Does she walk out? Yes, barely. It's looking like this team has a bunch of survivors on their side, and lo and behold, Defend the Faith is on the front foot here.
Yeah, and that's what I expect to see out of the J4. J4 is very much ganking. You can see he's already setting up for a tower dive here. An excellent Soraka silence there, trying to slow them down a little bit from being able to clear waves. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful because Diana is in the area. As we get a little bit of view of the
we have the J4 going on to the Lulu. The Lulu has to back out. He does the Whimsy, but does she walk out? No, the Diana forces his ally to flash. Now she's beaten down the J4. Will the J4 survive? The ADC and the support jump in with the heal. Oh, the Diana's barely living. Will she be able to get out of this predicament here? Oh, the Varus arrow just barely misses, and the J4Q misses and has to give up his life. How unfortunate. First blood to Diana.
Yeah, and so that was a very interesting turn there. They tried to force a play happening.
Well, hold on, Sion, this is a beefy top lane. Do they survive? The Ornn has to flash. Sion says, all right, buddy, I'll take some plates for my troubles. Wait a minute, does Sion? No, unfortunate. And Ornn gets the return kill on this dive from Sion. Crazy.
I mean, action across the map there. So Ornn gets killed, Sion gets a plate. Sion's always really going to have pressure until items start to come through onto this Ornn, and even then afterwards a little bit. Interesting that Jarvan is actually starting up these grubs here, considering the fact that he has no lane pushing, but I guess it's fine. Diana's not there. She's going to clear her Krugs, and he's going to be out of there in no time. He only needs to take 2 to really make this efficient, but he's going to take all 3 most likely. But calming down, looking at what just happened across the map. Diana got first blood, is already picking up anti-heal for this Soraka.
Ornn and Sion are just going back and forth. Diana's looking for a gank here. She's hiding in the brush. does this spell opportunity? It does. Diana's moving forward. Ornn has forced to pop the ult. Is he able to pull it off? No, he just misses entirely, and they're letting him walk out. They see the J4 walking up. J4 says, you guys survive for now. Ornn has to pop ult and half his health just to survive. It's looking like it was a gink of, hey, I'm around, so be careful. But the bot lane right now is just going back and forth. The exhaust has to be popped down by the Soraka. And the Varus is looking like he's trying to push it back. The Lulu and the Kog'Maw went aggressive, but they're pulling off. Oh, here comes Syndra from the backside through the tri-bush. They didn't see her. Oh, the Varus with the backstep barely misses the stun, but unfortunately Soraka says, I can't dodge a point-and-click ult. And Soraka goes down. The Syndra is taking the kill. This is crazy, Ice.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you get out of draft leagues, right? There's not much that happens, I think, in the outside of time, but good snipe there from Marco with the Varus Q. Is he gonna go down though?
Hard. No. Oh, yeah, it does. The
Kog'Maw down to the Kog'Maw. Yeah, that Ghost actually coming in clutch there, having it come just off of cooldown for that fight, and Soraka isn't going to be able to get the kill here, I don't think, now. Silence barely not getting it, though. But, I mean, these are the kind of margins that we're going to be playing with all game long. The power of a Kog'Maw,
Soraka just surprised the Kog'Maw here.
Cheeky back by the Kog'Maw. Now, the thing is you've now given tempo pressure over to the side of Defend the Faith. Sorry, my brain lagged there for a second. But since you've given tempo over to the side of Defend the Faith, they can now get to take drag. So they got grubs, and because of the respawn not the respawn, but the back timing of Diana and her camp clear time, she could not go to dragon immediately. Therefore, she had to just give up grubs, and because now of this Kog'Maw over-aggress and bad back timing, they now also got dragon at the same time. Now, it is only Hextech.
Oh, the J4 is flashing in for the ult. Oh, the Kog'Maw is just going down. Has to 1v1 the J4 and barely has any time to breathe. Just looking like they got a good return kill on bot here.
Yeah, and that's actually huge because that's 2 Kog'Maw deaths in the span of a minute. And this is time lost on the map, gold lost, gold handed over to Varus, who's now sitting at 2-1-0. Already has his Berserker Greaves, already has that recurve bow, so is already feeling pretty strong, and is going to also take this plate. He's not going to back here, I don't think. There's not a reason to. He can continue this pressure for a bit and allow time for him to scale up just a little bit more. Now, key moments in terms of levels. Everybody has now hit level 6, so the key ultimates we need to look out for now is the Soraka ultimate for across the map stuff. Anytime that somebody gets low, she can always just pop that and affect anybody on the map. What happened to Kog'Maw may not happen anymore. Lulu has now hit 6, so she does have her ultimate to boost him up. So Wild Growth is now in effect as we see another...
Oh, Varus is going aggressive. Oh, the J4 is walking around the corner. They're forcing the Kog'Maw and the Lulu to get back, but the Kog'Maw is able to trade back. Uh-oh, the Azir has found the Diana in the jungle. No, he's opts to go out, and looks like the action exploded and died out just as fast.
Yeah, and we're going to get a lot of these small skirmishes in this early game. No one wants to take their 5v5s quite yet. Ornn is still scaling, Sion is still scaling. Diana has already completed the Morellonomicon. And this is the issue that I have with Diana itemization, is there's no good items for her. So starting off, going full Morellonomicon, I struggle with this. I want to see a little bit more AP coming out of her. She's a burst-heavy champion, and getting the Oblivion Orb was enough to cut what little Soraka healing there is in the early game. You don't need a full Morello until your 4th item, 3rd if you really want to push it. So definitely some question marks there coming out from the Diana, as she's just not going to have the power that she needs in order to continue this throughout the game, as J4 is trying to take those grubs while the rest of his team fends them off.
It's looking like everyone's trying to get in right now. The Sion and the Ornn are trying to fight each other as Diana is right on top of the grubs. Uh-oh, J4 goes right in on top. Diana goes down. Syndra gets Cataclysm, but she has to flash out. Will she make it out? No, the red burns her to death. Oh man, and it's looking like the blue side are the victors of the Grubs here and the bot lane. It looks like.
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of expected to happen with a team comp like this. With a Diana, you have a high execution threshold that you have to hit, whereas with the side of Defend the Faith, I have to flag and drag in, make sure I land my Cataclysm, and make sure my Azir gets his shuffle, his soldiers out, and my Ornn just has to, you know,
Wait a minute, Kog'Maw is just straight running down the Soraka. Soraka's forced to flash in. Oh, the side comes in with the surprise TP, but oh, another TP comes in and Silence trying to catch him out. The Azir dodges and goes right for the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw gets caught in the Azir ult, goes down, and now Sion and Lulu have to walk out. The Lulu's getting targeted, but the Sion's doing a great job of defending her. Sion's able to turn it around and push back, and it's looking like the blue side is walking away. They're pushing in, but it's looking like they're not threatening any more than that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's they lost the Soraka, but then Kog'Maw was taken out, and the power of this comp to just collapse and take somebody out is too easy. And going back to that Grub fight, you can see it was a flag and drag that chunked Diana to half her health with an Ornhorn coming over the top. Her ult didn't even tickle J4, and then J4 was able to use his Cataclysm to get on top of Syndra and get the kill onto Syndra too with the red buff. So that's the power of this composition right now. They're hitting their stride. They have gold onto the members, on every member. Soraka has a kill. Varus has 2 kills. Azir has 2 kills. J4 has a kill, and even Ornn has a kill. And they're only gonna get stronger from here. Ornn is scaling well. He's at level 10. Remember, once he hits, I think it's level 15. So
14, level 14.
At level 13, he ups
13,
his item, and then at level 14, he starts upgrading his team's items. That's huge. That's the real power when this composition really comes online. And because of where they're sitting at right now, Edge of Diamond has to opt into this lane swap, and they're the one instigating it because it's the only way they can avoid this Varus and allow time for this Kog'Maw to scale.
Now there's a question. So I'm sorry, Varus, very quick. I want to point out with this lane swap, they also their team captains are on different sides of the map. Hold on, the Diana goes right on to the Varus. The Varus says, "Oh, I have to flash out," but he misses his ult and he scoops up his flash. The Diana takes out the Varus and the Soraka, but here comes the J4 trying to get revenge on his friends with the Azir, but the Sion is just caught, gets ulted out. Will the super tank be able to walk out? He's just getting chunked little by both. The Azir and the J4 are able to take out the super tank. That is unfortunate. What started out as a slow fight just ended up in a reversal. Diana took 2, but she has to lose her life and the top laner's life in return.
Yeah, and it's really difficult for the side of Edge of Diamonds right now. They're down now, going to be down 2 drags. Azir is scaling really well. J4 already has his Sundered Skies, building up some MR. Varus has his Blade of the Ruined King now, so he's happy and content where he's at. Azir looks like he's going to get first turret because there's no one there to stop him. There's Grub spawning. And I worry about where Edge of Night thinks this composition is going to go. They need time in order to scale.
Wait, hold on. Ornn says, "Unfortunately, I forgot you're a Kog'Maw. You're just chewing me down." But unfortunately, he goes down. But the camera goes right down to the bot side. The the Diana has to walk out. The Sion is just trying to make room for her. And he's just beating down the J4. And it's looking like he's able to beat off the J4 and the Azir. Man, these, like you said, these teams going nuts. Oh man, it's just crazy damage. Everyone's getting forced back.
Yeah, and so looking at where these fights are gonna start to head, the side with the better front line is going to start to win these fights. The one that can last longer, and unfortunately right now that's looking like the side of Edge of Diamonds just won't have it. Defend the Faith has an Ornn, has a J4 for that kind of tankiness front line that is going to be hard for the likes of the Kog'Maw and the Diana to rip through. Syndra doesn't do well with tanks either. And because of that, I mean, when you draft a Kog'Maw, you're looking for basically a protect the president comp, right? Kog'Maw is the linchpin to the composition, and if he dies, there is no real damage threat for the rest of the squad. And you can see that's exactly what they're going for right now.
Forces the flash on the Kog'Maw. The Lulu has the flash as well. The Varus catches Kog'Maw with the ult, but unfortunately, Syndra turns it around and bursts him. This looks like Soraka barely survives. The J4 goes right back into the Kog'Maw. The Kog'Maw gets Lulu ulted, and they're beating each other back. And suddenly, it's all 5 members on each side going in. The Diana goes on to one, goes on to the Soraka, takes him out, and she ults the J4. The J4 goes down. Whoa! The Lulu's trying to solo dolo the Azir. The Azir's trying to fight his way out, but unfortunately, he gets killed outright by the Syndra. And right now, it's looking like, what is this? Edge of Diamonds walking out, taking out their first turret. Oh, it's not first turret, the mid turret.
Yeah, and I mean, Edge of Diamonds, I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. They had more members come to that fight before the side of Defend the Faith could get there, and they had the right members focusing the right ones. Varus was stepped up way too far trying to make that pick happen. Once he flashes back out of that, he's fine. And
they're going back and forth here in the River Ice. Look at that. They were decided to go against on the Herald, but right now Varus just lost his life. Diana's trying to survive as much as she can before her team gets there, but unfortunately she dies right before the Lulu can go in. Syndra's trying to get the Azir away from her, but unfortunately his soldiers catch her out. Oh, Ice, this is nuts.
It's gonna be back and forth from here on out, I think. Whoever can, if there's ever an uneven fight, it's whoever has more members is gonna win. But you can see just like this, Diana's not, I mean, dealing some damage. She's finally starting to, she finally got her Lich Bane, which is a core item for her to start to deal damage. She's very auto attack based. The issue is it enough? She's delayed her core power spike for so long. She's 6-3-1. She's gotten some kills now, but I still worry about the rest of, the game. How well is she gonna fare? Looking ahead now, for the side of Defend the Faith, mid tower still up, top tower. These are both tier 1s. Those are still up. Tier 1 on bot did go down. Azir picking that up for the first brick. It is a Chemtech soul. It is a good soul for both teams. It's not something that you just want to give over for free. They've set themselves up for success as Defend the Faith because they did manage to pick up the first 2. They can give over 1 or 2 dragons without too much issue.
Now hold on,
and be fine.
The Edge of Diamonds are pushing in very deep here. The Lulu's forcing back the Ornn Ice. Now they're marching down bot lane with the Herald. There's a 4 members, Syndra in the middle, pushing in. Unfortunately, Defend the Faith only has 2 members down here, so it's looking like for sure tower down. The Herald went somewhere else. I think he's trying to say hi to the Krugs, but it's looking like the tower is not going to go down. But Ornn and J4 are trying their damnedest to make sure this tower stays up. 4 members forced back by 2 beefy gentlemen, and others setting their sights on the upcoming dragon. No dragon's gonna be up. Yep, in another 17 seconds. Will Defend the Faith respond? It's looking like they're not.
Yeah, so I mean, overall it wasn't bad. The side of Defend the Faith actually won out heavy in that trade. They got mid tier 1, top tier 1, heavy damage onto top tier 2. All for the price of moderate damage onto their bot tier 2 and the loss of their bot tier 1 and a dragon. They're able to give this dragon over fine and not suffer too much from it. Syndra is starting to really struggle into this Azir, and Azir was ignoring her on that turret, and that's why he had to back off, because he was just like, okay, fine, I don't have a minion wave anymore, I just need to back off. But playing the map beautifully is Defend the Faith, and it looks like they're starting to prep for Baron here. They're starting to lay down their vision. They're starting to exert their dominance over the sides of the map that they're strong on. What they have done is, you can see the lane assignments that they have is Ornn is top side. He has TP. They're expecting to have to go to Dragon for the next fight, even though it's not up for another 425. And then on the side of for Azir, he's on the bot side. He's stronger, so he's playing opposite of the team right now, trying to draw 1 or 2 members away to give a members advantage on the other side of the map for the side of Defend the Faith to work on. So for Edge of Diamonds, what they need to do is they need to overload one side or the other and make a massive play happen, because so far it feels like they're just bleeding out resources. This Sion is not going to do well into this Azir. He can't match the range that this Azir has. He can't match the damage output this Azir has. So he's slowly just going to get choked out of resources. So they need to make something happen on the other side of the map or collapse onto this Azir. But they're setting up nicely around this Azir so that doesn't happen.
It's looking like Edge of Diamonds are going straight to Baron Sion. It's just
Exactly
the
what they need to do.
distraction here. Oh, it looks like they found them out. The Varus and the Soraka are pushing up to look. No, I guess the Soraka alone was enough to push back Edge of Diamonds.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed. They didn't burn any TPs, so if you're making a play like that, it's really just to try to burn the TP from Azir, so that way he can't split like that. Because if he does again, you just go right back. You know he's not going to be in that fight. But they walked off way too early, very scared of the Varus, of the Soraka, and of the Ornn. I mean, I understand the power of those champions, but if you're going to make a play like that, you have to commit. So you really got nothing out of that play and actually ceded a lot of pressure to this Azir because he didn't even have to burn TP. Push forward. You have to decide on a play and execute on it. It doesn't matter how good or bad it may look. You're gonna bleed out otherwise. This comp just has so much range on you. You need to force a play.
Now, Ice, I do have a question. Back to the point I was trying to make before. The captains on these teams are actually on opposite side of the map. Edge of Diamonds, easy set for Dorado. Looking at their stats, they have a consistent KDA, but is the support versus Paradises on the side of Defend the Faith is the top laner. What do you think about their perspectives on making calls since they're on both totally different positions on the teams?
I mean, as a support player myself, that becomes more of a shot caller role, where as a top laner, you can see he's taken a more supportive stance here. As,
Oh, hold on. The J4 is trying to box with the Diana, but the Diana says, hold on, gentlemen, I have 3 items. No, she gets caught up by the Verisol. She manages to flash. The Scion comes in on the side. Oh, the Soraka and the Varus goes down. Now they're just chasing down the Ornn. The Ornn has to flash. Scion says, where are you going, buddy? We're not done with our match. But he says, hold on. I think it's time for us to get bigger and better things. Edge of Diamonds marching straight over to Baron, claiming their prize.
Absolutely, that's exactly what they needed to do. They found them out in transition, caught them out, took out the weaker member, well, quote unquote weaker, took out the squishier members of the side of Defend the Faith, and wiped them off map. So now it's harder for a contest to come through for from the side of Defend the Faith, because they are going to try to make something
Wait, hold on,
here.
Azir, that's a Scion. You just can't do that. The Ornn goes in trying to beat off the team, but it's 3 versus 2. Azir does everything in his power to go back. He ults, but goes right back in. The Ornn tries to fight back, and they just forgot that they just took Baron. Azir and Ornn goes down, and Edge of Diamonds marching straight down mid lane with their newly gained Baron.
Yeah, and very well played by them. The contest coming through from the side of Defend the Faith was unnecessary. Yes, they have Baron, but you can cede a little bit of pressure here. You can give that outer ring. This Baron should only be good enough to crack the inhib tower. Maybe 1. I wouldn't expect them to be able to crack inhib tower in 2 lanes or inhib and inhib tower. So Dragon up in 5 seconds. That's also going to go over to the side of Edge of Diamonds. They've really resurged into this game. They were even not 4 minutes ago to now they're up about 6k. So very well played by them. They're playing it out beautifully. And this Diana pick now has Nashor's Tooth as well. So she's fully online. It was delayed, so she felt a lot weaker in that early game. But now coming online with the Lich Bane and the Nashor's Tooth and the anti-heal means that if she lands any damage onto any of these members from the side to Defend the Faith, the Soraka is not going to be able to do as much until that ticks off.
It's looking like Lewis. Oh, wait, hold on. The Azir almost gets popped by the Syndra. He manages to get out with his life. I was going to say Lewis kind of proven you wrong with the Diana. Like I agree with you. If he didn't have a good start or a good mid game, he was probably going to fall behind. But this action-heavy game has given him all the resources necessary to get to where he is now. Q, ult, and blow everyone up that he sees.
Yep, and that's all he needs to do now. And this Scion is starting to put in a lot of work. He has a lot of minions to work with, and you can see they're starting to push this in with a 1-4, and that's all they need to do. Now, for the side to Defend the Faith, they need to overload one side of the map and just say, we're going to force a play, get on top of this Kog'Maw, blow them up, and then work on this Diana. Kog'Maw is still the massive issue that they have, and if they don't get on top of them, this killing off the Diana will mean nothing because Kog'Maw will just rip them to shreds.
It's looking like right now the team comps have turned into who dies first, and then can you survive the counter engage. If one team decides to go onto the other, if one team decides to go on the Kog'Maw, that Diana has access to the back line. Right now the J4 has caught out the Syndra. The Syndra is just trying to walk out. No, but she has no sums to get her out, and down she goes. She almost takes out the Azir, but unfortunately she doesn't have a flash to survive.
Yeah, and that's a huge pick for them. They took a Baron off map. Two, one of the strongest members of the team in the Syndra. You can see she was chunking them to 25% HP with her QER combo without really trying all that hard. But key items being completed. As looks like we're having an engage.
Wait a minute,
here.
they see the enemy in the jungle and say, hey, hold on, you don't belong here. The Ornn takes out the Lulu with the ult, and now they're on the chase. Varus has popped the ghost, and Azir has managed to slow down the Kog'Maw. Finally, he manages to slice him down the bits. Kog'Maw's ult, passive barely tickles the Ornn. It's looking like the Defend of Faith is just going, yeah, you get Baron, but we took out your ADC and we're pushing down your mid lane.
Yeah, and they have an excellent time to do so.
Wait a minute, the Syna's going straight in with the ult. Does anything happen out of this? No, but the Diana gets caught out by the J4. He's not afraid to challenge her, and Azir goes in, but she pops the ult. Will it be enough? No, unfortunately, she goes straight down. Right now, Defend the Faith are trying to push down the mid lane. Are they successful? Looking like yes. The Sun says, I don't want any of this just yet. Yep, the grubs. I can see the little babies going in, taking out the tower bit by bit. And it's looking like that's all Defend the Faith wants to get.
Yeah, and you can see the pings starting to come out from the side of Defend the Faith. They've pinged their top and bot waves, saying, hey, we need to push these out. We need to start getting control of these waves again. We got a good couple of skirmishes. We got the Lulu, we got the Kog'Maw, we got the Diana, we got the Syndra. Let's now build on that. Let's get these waves pushed out. Anytime you're looking to take objectives, for anyone out there listening that doesn't know this, wave management is key. Push your waves. That is free vision if you're pushing them into the opponent's side of the map. Then you place vision around in the opponent's jungle around that. Then because you need those deep wards to know where they're coming from. So that's exactly what they're trying to do right now on both sides. Get these side lanes under control. Otherwise, you can start to lose the game just purely off of the lanes continually pushing into these towers and eventually knocking them down. Now, you can see Dragon up in 45 seconds, Baron up in 35, a 10-second difference. J4 is saying, I don't care about Dragon right now. We can give 3 Chemtech drags away. That's fine. We're going to take out the Sion.
The Sion is getting caught. He has the flash, but unfortunately, the Cataclysm is forcing him to take more damage than necessary. Tries to ult out, but the J4 manages to flag and drag right on top of him. Does he make it out? The Sion barely makes it out. Oh, with a sliver of health, but he gets sniped out by the Varus Q. Now he's just joining them in a leisurely walk in passive through their own jungle. That is unfortunate.
Now, of course, they are spotted. They know where they are. They don't know where the enemy team is, though, so that's going to be key there. Banshee's Veil is popped from the Diana, so...
Oh, Diana finds the Azir, but Azir tries to shuffle out of there. Unfortunately, Diana's taking every single ult possible from the enemy team, but the Kog'Maw is doing his thing. He's artillery all of... Whoa! No! He stepped forward too much, and the J4 manages to take him out. The Azir barely survives. The Syndra misses her EQ, and now Lulu is trying to walk out with sliver health. Everybody's at 25% health. Oh, but they managed to find the Syndra, and the Varus is the only one had nearly 100% health. The Defend the Faith traded majority of their HP to be able to get this once-in-a-lifetime chance to push as hard as possible down the mid lane, but Sana's responding with his own ult. Can he stop them? He's kind of there, but the turret does go down. He has a lot of targets to choose from. The J4 is not afraid of the Sion of Soraka keeping everyone alive, but her health is low. Will the Sion survive again? No, he goes down for the second time. The Azir barely catches him. Defend the Faith takes the mid lane and goes right back out.
Yeah, and that's actually huge. So they took the Scion out once again. They can't quite take any of the other major objectives. They can't go to Baron. They can't quite go to Dragon. They don't have the health bars. So a little bit of an overpush there, quote unquote, because now tempo-wise, the side of Edge of Diamonds is able to get Baron. Diana, Kog'Maw, and Lulu very capable. Lots of shielding, lots of damage to come through. It just gets shredded. They're not going to get there in time. It looks like no. But
This Baron is going
what
down
they do
quick. Whoa! Are they? It looks like they're trying to chase the Syndra. No, the Syndra tries to distract them, but she ends up trying to eat the ult, but she manages to blast fruit out of there. I think that's she was lucky, because had it been any other dragon, that would have been a little hop and skip, but it managed to blast her enough distance away.
Yeah, so Chemtech Soul coming in, or Chemtech Map coming in clutch for the Syndra there, make sure she can get out. Now they can focus down this dragon. It's going to go down super quick. Diana is in the area, so it is a little risky, but this 5v5 is going to, if they actually do a 5v5 fight, it could decide the game. If any of them ace, it's over. But Edge of Diamonds saying, no, we have Baron, we're going to push the lane, we can give over the Soul Point Dragon and be fine. We need to at least match the inhib push that they got.
It's looking like right now Defend the Faith are able to get back in time. The only thing they have to trade is the mid lane for the dragon. J4... Nope. Hold on. J4 is going for his jungle. The Diana manages to take the Raptors. It's looking like they're trying to decide whether they want to go in or not, but one team has Baron, the other team just has 3 dragons. Currently, the Edge of Diamonds are deciding to back off. Are their Barons going down? But hold on, it doesn't matter. The J4 is itching for a fight right now. The Scion stops to go ahead and drop a Q to pop him down, but the J4 goes right into the Diana. The Orange manages the QE right on top of everybody, knocking up 3. Ult on top, only hits 2, but the Scion goes in with the ult. The Kog'Maw just laying down damage. Scion goes down. The Azir tries to shuffle right into the middle of the team, knocks 4 up. Will it be enough? Yes, the Kog'Maw goes down. The Diana goes down. Scion goes down. Everybody goes down.
They're going to be able to clear this wave. They have to wait probably 30, 45 seconds for the wave to get in. But that's game right there. The death timers at 30, 34 minutes are long enough that it won't matter. And it looks like J4 is going to try to tank these turrets. You can wait the little bit of time that's necessary, because you're not going to take them. And you can see how much damage is done there. Strong. Yeah, I mean, that's the backdoor bonus coming through. But it is game. They don't really need the J4 there to end it, luckily. And, I mean, you can just see it all came down to how tanky this one was in target selection. J4 took the Diana out to the side, made sure she was not part of that initial fight that sprung, and it allowed them to kind of ramp into that fight. Varus started to outscale this Kog'Maw, was able to start hitting onto this Scion. The Scion was not tanky enough like this Ornn, like this Azir. Azir went in, shuffled everybody, giving them time to reset that fight. Yes, the Azir went down, but he reset the fight long enough in that last stage of it for the rest of his team to get in there and continue it. This J4 did massive work to get on top of this Kog'Maw, protect his Varus, and absolutely 100% win that fight for them.
It was a crazy back and forth game, like you said. This was to be expected. 2 teams explosively going out back and forth towards the mid and late game, but the Defend the Faith managed to do just that. Defend their faith and take round 1 of this best of 3. Ice, do you think this could be a trend, or do you think Edge of Diamonds has a way to fight back in this best of 3?
I think there is a definite avenue for the side of Edge of Diamond to come back in this series. We saw really good glimmers of hope from them. They almost had it. They just had a few overstays that allowed the side to Defend the Faith to get right back into it. But overall, I mean, very well played by both teams. There was definite mistakes, but they were also punished more often than not. And it was a fun game of League of Legends. The big things that I noticed from the side of Edge of Diamond was their comp was a little bit harder to execute, and you saw that coming into the later stages of the game. They started to lose out on those fights because going into a comp like Defend the Faith, you either have to go poke or you have to go into the same style of comp that they have. and they tried to skirt around it, and they didn't have a front line like the side of Defend the Faith had. J4 went Sundered Sky and had a lot of tanky stats to go along with that. Ornn, pure tank that can also buff up the rest of his team by building Ornn items. But on the other side, you got a Sion, which is great. Sion is really good at just being a beefcake, but Diana is all about getting onto the backline and dealing damage. Where is the other tank that you need in order to get through there? And they didn't quite have it. Overall, very well played by the side of Edge Diamond, and I hope to see a game 3 because they definitely can win a game 2.
Now, going back to a conversation we were having earlier, as the two teams settled down in the lobby here, we were talking about the team captains. Like I was saying before, Easyset for Dorado. As I was looking at the roster here, he's actually the Edge of Diamonds top laner, but is playing support. So, captain usually top lane, now support support for this best of 3 with Paradises actually playing the top lane here. Tell me about this dynamic here. It's looking like they're of the same mind, but one has to sacrifice the position to play a more nuanced role here.
Yeah, and when you get into draft leagues like this, you can sometimes see different players off-rolling a little bit, maybe not totally comfortable in their roles, but I didn't see anything that was like glaringly like they don't know how to play this role. I think that they played very well. I think a lot of the issues coming out from that game was just like overstays in the later stages that they overpushed just a little too far, didn't back out quite enough, didn't reset, or they had awkward reset timers for tempo that they weren't back out on the map at the proper time to contest objectives.
Now, looking at my notes here, because Easyset Dorado is playing support, he is not able to translate his consistent play style through support play. Instead of being the one to engage, to fight, to take down, he has to be the ones to coordinate, to survive, to take the vision. Do you think that plays a role here? Not being able to translate their performance in that way?
I don't think it played that big of a role. I think more of what I mean, because a support can be that playmaking style as well. They decided to pick that Lulu, which is more of that quote unquote true support sit back style, but I didn't see the Lulu being an issue. I didn't see mechanically it being an issue. The placement on the in team fights where they were placing themselves. Sometimes it was a little aggressive, but I would never say that it was egregious and out of base.
Now, one last thing to note before we do take a small break here. Uh, it's looking like Edge of Diamonds are opting for Blue's side because they lost their first round. So they will be swapping sides. They do get the first pick, sacrificing their counter pick. Hopefully this makes a little bit more of a support on their side to be able to get some work done in the second game. Any opinions, Ice, before we take a small break?
Blue side is traditionally the side if you're stronger you want because there are a lot of good champions right now that you can easily just first pick it and have a good time with them. But when you're at this like elo level, that doesn't always matter. It's about comfortability on the champion, and that just comes down to how many games have you played on the champion. So it depends on what comfortable with, what they want to do with their team comp. And I mean, I like the side selection swap just because it offers a little bit different of a draft for game 2 rather than just different bans. It's a totally different drafting style now by both teams. And it's going to be exciting to now enter this draft phase after the break and see what these teams have cooked up for the other side of the rift.
Alrighty, Ice, thank you very much for your wonderful analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back once everything gets set up. We'll see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen Esports. Quetzalcoatl and Ice returning for game number 2. Ice, we noticed a little bit of a roster change here. Uh, as if I remember correctly, Edge of Diamonds, we saw Easy Set for Dorado was playing support, but was actually the top laner returning to their position. Do you think, just a little bit of conspiratorial discussion, you think that's going to make a difference?
Um, it may or may not. We'll have to see the difference in play between his support and his top lane. And then bringing in now Coach Pizza for the support role, it'll be interesting to see as that more traditional shot caller position, is anything going to change?
Now, both teams, their captains, or we will assume captains are the shot callers. Both team captains are on the top side, so now the perspectives may be a little different. Uh, I'm interested to see, will the focus be top side heavy, or will they rely on the performers to form?
Um, it all depends on what style now is. It depends. Is Dorado actually the shot caller, or maybe is Coach Pizza, or is the jungler the shot caller? Hopefully, whatever it is, we see the issues fixed, that they don't overstay like they did in game one, because
Now,
those were the big issues that they actually lost out on.
now we're going straight into draft pick. We have Defend the Faith banning out Braum, J4, and Ornn, and Edge of Diamonds banning out Volibear, Seraphine, and Zeri. Edge of Diamonds grabbing the Udyr, my personal favorite aside from the Volibear. Uh, I'm hoping to see, is it a top lane? Is it a jungle? May surprise us, could be mid lane. What do you think?
It's probably going to be either top or jungle. It's a good flex pick between the two. I'm just now waiting to see how they decide to round out the rest of their comp. I mean, this is the power of blue side, is you can kind of pick whatever you want in that B1, and it usually is the OP style of champion. But this Hui being picked up is actually quite an interesting pick. Just blinding Hui mid lane. Uh, there is talk of Hui support as a support player. Hui is not a support. I'm sorry for those of you just wanting to pick it up in solo queue. Please don't do it. You're just gonna run it. It's not a good support. There's only one supportive thing on there, or two technically. Don't do it. But Lee Sin being picked up, um, always an interesting pick, especially at this time of year, because he always picks up buffs around this time of year, because Riot does want him played at MSI. So he's one of these. I call him the ego jungler because of the Lee syndrome of always wanting to take the Q and then having to land the inset kick and stuff like that. But if you're good Lee Sin, it's gonna look beautiful and it's gonna do great. And if you're gonna ego, this is the time to. You're one up in the series. You have a game to spare in case it doesn't go your way.
Now, I'm enjoying, before we get into the Edge of Diamonds pick, I'm enjoying the technical champions being picked on the Defend the Faith. So we have the Hui with the 20,000 spells and Lee Sin with the different amount of ways to kick everyone everywhere. So hopefully Defend the Faith can perform. Edge of Diamonds now responding with a Draven ADC and Misfortune. What we're gonna assume is support. It's looking like the opposite side of the team are probably not going to enjoy being permanently slow here in the bot lane.
This is giving me flashbacks to SKT Rocks in like 2016. Because this is the last time that MF support was really a big deal, as far as I remember. And oh man, um, yeah,
Wow,
and
the
that's
Nyla
a
got
Nyla.
picked. Wow,
I
that is a no fear. I will get in your face ADC.
Yeah, and I like the Nyla pick here. It's a very squishy bot lane that she gets to play into. A little bit poke heavy, but she can dance around that lane pretty well and match the damage later on the game gets. It's does this Draven get going early? It's all on this Draven right now. Draven's the linchpin. Uh, and always is in a Draven comp. If he doesn't get the kills, if he loses his stacks, if he doesn't stack well, he's not going to do as well. It's all about gaining stacks, getting that kill, cashing in those stacks, getting that gold, and then spending that gold.
Now,
That's where it matters.
Now, Ice, it's not Draven, it's Draven.
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
not
my
gonna throw my
freak
phone out
impression.
like that.
Freak impression aside, we have Defend the Faith banning out the Fiora. It's always a decent pick, decent ban in my case. You don't know who's able to perform on it. It could destroy the game. It could ruin the game. We never know. Edge of the Diamonds responding with a Yumi pick. Why does this champion still exist? Riot, what's going on here?
I
It,
mean, yeah, Fiora is a champion. I got my first penta, and I have no hands on that champion, so that's how easy that champion is to play. But you get you get Senna banned, you get Yumi banned. Senna Nyla is actually a very strong lane along with the Yumi Nyla, so very good picks there to take away. I think an engage support would be best here. I'm not happy with this Sona because you have two squishies in that bot lane. And a Nautilus would be beautiful here. Nautilus or a Leona, you can get on top of them. You can kind of just delete them with the Nyla without any real issue. But they opt for this Sona route, going for the more poke style uh, early game. And also, in case they do get too close, you do have that Sona ult that can stun them up. But definitely interesting picks on both sides of the table right now. I mean, this is going to be a spicy game. Jax, again, that still leaves Udyr and Jax can go. Jungle can go top. Both of them can. So I'm assuming it's going to be Udyr jungle, Jax top. That's just more traditional. And then Jace mid.
oh.
Opting heavy into the AD, Udyr is going to be the only AP damage on their side besides the MF, but she's building support. So we're going to ignore that AP damage. It's negligible. On the other side, people get hyped up about it. It doesn't work well.
Well, hold on. They're hovering the mouth. They took the Malphite.
Excellent
We're
pick.
It's gonna be
Excellent pick.
Malphite versus Jax, Lamp versus Rock. I'm always happy to see a very, I don't want to say simple, but very straightforward champion like Malphite. I see ADC, I R ADC.
And that's essentially all you need to do. This Malphite's going to struggle early. He's probably going to take Comet, make sure that he doesn't. He has a little bit of trade power in lane, but he's not going to be looking to auto Jax or anything like that. He's not wanting to fight. He's looking merely to survive, get out of the laning phase, start to affect the map, get into these 5v5 team fights, and he's going to be able to soak up a lot of damage coming out from this Chase, from this Draven, and from this Jax. So excellent pickup there. And I mean, rounding out their comp altogether on the side of Defend the Faith, you have Malphite, Lee Sin, Hui, Nyla, and Sona. That is a high damage comp. Lee Sin deals a deceptive amount of damage. Hui is considered an artillery mage for a reason. He can dish out damage from long ranges. He's basically like if anybody's playing Helldivers 2, he's basically a mortar encampment on the Rift.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's too meta. That's too meta, Ice.
And then on the other side, from Edge of Diamonds, you have I'm gonna assume here, I don't know yet, it's going to be Jax, Udyr, Jace, Draven, Misfortune. Lots of damage, but very squishy. This Udyr is gonna have a bit more damage coming through than tankiness. So going to have to see how they decide to play that. Because they do need some spark of AP there, otherwise they're gonna struggle into this Malphite.
Now, looks like we're gonna have an extended draft pick here. We did do draft pick lull, and now they're doing the actual draft pick in the client. We're gonna have an extra time to talk about different things. Let's go ahead and just go down each matchup to kind of talk about what you think needs to be happening for each side to succeed. And so, as always, you're going to start top lane, Jax versus Malphite. You said Malphite, all he has to do is poke and survive, not give Jax an inch. We're in agreement here, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to do. You're probably going to give over turret plates. He's always really going to have pressure, but you don't have to worry too much about later stages. You are going to have to worry about split push Jax because he can rip through turrets, but in the mid game, you're going to be able to stand up to him decently while he will start to rip you down. But as long as you kind of keep him at a distance, you shouldn't have any worries.
Now, my favorite position, because I am a jungle main, we have Udyr versus Lee Sin. You said Lee Sin, especially early game, deceptive amount of damage. Q scaling off of missing HP. So the lower you get, the more in sights you are of Lee Sin versus Udyr. Udyr, I don't want to say recently, but is one of the champions that did recently get an I guess a VGU, not VGU, excuse me, gameplay overall update. What are you seeing here?
I mean, Udyr saw a lot of prevalence in the top lane early on into the season, right? Especially if you were watching pro play, he was kind of tearing up the rift in the top lane. He's taken a lot of nerfs since then, so he's not as strong as he once was. And then slotting him into the jungle, he's going to be basically a low econ Udyr. He's not going to have the stat stick that you would expect from a top lane Udyr. He's not going to have the gold for that. And then he's going into a Lee Sin, so you're looking for him to just be full clearing a lot and affecting the lanes when he can. Whereas on the side of Lee Sin, it's about getting ahead of this Udyr and staying ahead. That's affecting the lanes. That's farming. That's getting to scuttle crabs first, and that's making sure you're picking up objectives when they spawn. You don't want to get into any extended fights.
Now, very interesting matchup. The Jace versus the Hui. It's basically how fast can I get to you before you blow me up about 1,000 yards away? What are we thinking here?
Both of them are long range style champions. Jace has his empowered shock blast to start clearing waves. They're both mana hungry early, so it's all about mana management and wave management. How are you hovering your lane? What kind of minions are you leaving up? Where are you freezing the lane? Because that's going to determine what happens in that lane. But it all comes down to who can clear waves a little bit easier, and that's going to be the Hui. Hui doesn't have to get into harm's way as often to clear waves, whereas Jace, he can empowered shock blast, but then he has to jump in onto those melees and clear those, and that's Hui's opportunity to deal some damage. But if Hui oversteps, missteps, Jace can put out a lot of damage onto this Hui.
Now, of course, the infamous bot lane here. We have a Draven in Misfortune versus a Nyla Sona. I'm seeing here Nyla dancing on a fine line on taking over the game or giving Draven all the money that she has in her pocket. What are we thinking, Nice?
It's a hard lane for both teams. On one hand, you have Draven Misfortune. Misfortune is looking to. It's an Emax Misfortune when you play her support, and I think she's probably gonna be taking Summon Aerie or Comet, something to deal some damage. But it's not. You're not getting like this double up style damage unless she's going for this AD style, which I hope she's not because it's not a good style for her as support. Typically, when you build her support, she's AP, and you're maxing E for the slow for the AP damage off of that. Draven, on the other hand, can dish out damage. We all know what happens when a Draven starts to pop off. That's what they want to happen. But with Nyla, she can block incoming projectiles for a short while, so you have to keep an eye on that. And then Sona can top her up, can reduce damage, can buff damage. So she's kind of an all-around style support. So it'll be interesting to see how they decide to do that and what timings they have in order to engage the way that Nyla wants to.
All righty, thank you, Ice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a slight break, make sure everything is set up and on time. Until then, we'll see you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Resident Esports. We have game number 2 right underway, and we're starting off with both teams deciding to do the same exact thing. 5 points on every side. It's looking like one team has finally learned their lesson here, Ice.
Yeah, and we can see now, we've loaded into the game, we can kind of see the runes that have been selected. Lee Sin is doing a little bit of a dance battle there. Hui interrupting it rudely with their artillery striking, but Counter-Strike coming through from the Jax getting an auto down onto the Lee Sin. Are we going to see something happen? Draven is walking up, but nothing expressly happening, but runes. Conqueror on Udyr, Lethal Tempo on Jax, those are expected. Phase Rush on Jace is expected. It's one of the ones that he can run. Lethal Tempo on Draven is also very, very common. And Comet on MF so she can get some damage down. And then on the other side, Malphite Comet is the one that he has to run in this matchup. Same Conqueror on Lee Sin is expected, and nothing really out of line. Summon area on the Sona because she's also doing shielding.
So far, so good. I was enjoying the good vibes until somebody always has to ruin it with their comment. But aside from that, it's looking like the same start. Both junglers on the traditional opposite sides. Wait a minute, the Sona stepped forward too much. Sona, you've been nerfed. You don't have as much AP anymore. Oh, she has to heal and flash, but the Nilah going in. Oh, the Draven flash is taking out the Sona, but he has to flash and heal. Nilah's turning it around, and Nilah gets a double kill at 2 minutes. Level 1. Shocked.
And I mean, you have to respect the Draven, but you also have to respect the Nilah. And flashing in for the Sona kill was highly unnecessary by the Draven. One, you don't have stacks. Yes, you got the first blood, but looking at it now, Nilah is sitting on 150 gold bounty, 2 kills, a little bit more CS as she's backing rather than just getting the 1 kill on the side of the Draven. So that's a double longsword and boots for this Nilah versus just the longsword. Spicy bot lane start, and so far it's favoring the Nilah.
It's looking like the Draven's gonna have an uphill battle. It's 1-2 right now. The way in the mid, though, Jace is just not being careful with the combos. Every 2 ability spells, a whole circle comes around to explode around him. He's forced to go back. I'm a little concerned here that Jace is just taking poke after poke damage, Ice.
Yeah, and that's really the power of this way, right? You have to respect how much damage they can cut out, even though they are a little mana hungry. It is something that they can do. Now, looking at this bot lane on screen right now, you can see the wave is not in a great position for this Nilah, and Udyr is here. They had a good ward there to make sure that they didn't get caught out. Lee Sin also there, so we might have a small skirmish happening, but no, they're just going to push out the wave where Lee Sin and Udyr are going to duke it out for the Scuttle Crab.
Double jungle fighting for the Scuttle, my favorite, but oh my goodness, the Udyr has ult at level 1, ladies and gentlemen. The Lee Sin is forced to flash. He's taking damage from the Grump, but he's able to walk out. The Sona's backing up to help, but you're only level 1 versus a level 4 Sona. No! It's looking like the Draven and the MF is able to push back the red side, and right now everything's going back to normal. But the Lee Sin unfortunately has to lose flash for that.
He lost flash, but he did manage to take his Gromp. He did manage to smite Sealat over the wall, but it looks like they might get dove under turret here.
Oh, that's an Udyr going right down. Sona, you're getting blasted down again. Will you survive? Yes, the Draven. Oh, the Draven almost dies, but the MS manages to get the kill on the Sona. Now we have ADCs on the side of Edge of Diamonds having kills, and Nilah still having 2 kills, but things feel like they're kind of evening it up now, Ice.
Yeah, it was a good dive, good juggling of aggro by the side of Edge of Diamonds there. It looked a little kind of janky at first with the Udyr looking like they overstepped a little bit, but the kind of air tornado that they get, putting in a lot of work onto the Sona. Still, it was only level 2 to the level 4 of the Nilah, so starting to struggle in the levels right now. But across the map, Hui is just absolutely bullying this Jace, a 42-30 CS lead, and Grubs are going to be going over to the side of Defend the Faith. Turret plate goes over to Nilah and Sona, and they're already starting to walk up to this Dragon too to make sure it's prepped and ready to go.
Now, right now, Defend the Faith has taken the Grubs, but Udyr's wanting the fight. Will he use the ult? Maybe, hopefully, perhaps. Right now, he's very low. Ooh. He's switching to turtle stance. Whoa, the way just taking Jace all the way out. The Malphite having the flash. Jax has Ghost. Of the scary lamps chasing you down. He manages to get the kill. On the other side, Lee Sin is chasing down the Udyr, barely misses the resonating strike. The Jax manages to turn back around. He says, buddy, I got you. No, the Hui takes out the Udyr. He didn't see that coming at all. But the Jax manages to turn it around on the Lee Sin. Right now, everything's kind of even right now. The Jax is trying to beat down the Sona. The Draven having, the Sona having to put heal. Will she be able to survive? Barely. The Hui is just in the face of Jax, leaving the Nilah all by herself. Will she get out? No, unfortunately, the Draven manages to chase her down. Back to the other side of the map, the Hui is walking out with 40% health, but Jace is like, you know what? You win this round, Hui, and walks away with full health. My God, we're 6 versus 5 here at 6 minutes in the game. 11 kills total.
Yep, and Tempo now is on the side of Edge of Diamonds. They're able to now take this Hextech Dragon, so no Hextech Soul, unfortunately, for this matchup, which would be a fun one to have. Unfortunately, Self-Cloud Soul on the table, which isn't a real soul, but looking... It's not. I'm sorry. I hate that soul with a passion. Looking at kind of what happened there, Hui is now at 3-0-0, has their... Lost chapter completed, but Malphite not having a good time in lane right now.
Hold on, the Nilah's turning it around the Draven. They're playing the game, but Udyr comes from behind, drops his Phoenix stance ult right on top of the Sona. The Sona had no chance. The Nilah also gets deleted by the Draven. Oh my goodness, the Malphite gets dove, but they have to trade on the top side. This is getting crazy now. The Nilah is seemingly giving up her lead, and Draven is catching up little by little.
Yeah, and that's exactly what needs to happen for this Draven, because they were starting to lose out a little bit.
Well, hold on, the Hui is dropping ult right on top of the Jace. Will he survive? Ult and double combo on top of him, but he survives the fray. He's forced the flash. Udyr dropped the Ghost, and now he's just going to take him out with the Phoenix and the Turtle and the Bear stance. But it's looking like he's kind of struggling to end the Hui. The Hui manages to get to his allies. Will he survive? Yes! The Malphite and the Lee managed to get there in time, and down goes the Hui.
Or down goes the Jace. Hui lives.
Oh, Jace, I'm so sorry.
Or Udyr.
Down goes the Jace.
Udyr. But yeah, no,
someone died.
Someone
died. But right now we're at 9-7. It's just going back and forth the way the Jace. Everybody's brave. They're going face to face, trying to get all the kills possible, Dice.
And you can see items starting to get completed on both sides of the rift. So Nilah went for the Berserker Greaves first, but Draven has the Eclipse completed. You can see.
But hold on, Sona being a juicy target is walking away right now. Nilah ulted and flashes right top of the Draven. The Draven didn't see it coming. The Lee Sin scaring him, trying to force him back, and he goes down. So this it evens it up once more in the bot lane. What looked like a Nilah going over the Draven goes right back to Nilah, Ice.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a key kill for the Nilah. Able to now also collapse this wave, making sure that they can get that under tower, get a turret, another turret plate potentially. But on the top side, Malphite is having
the Udyr was just on the other side of the map, and Malphite is forced to flash. And by flash, I mean ult, because he has 2 flashes, basically. But now that puts Malphite in a precarious position. No flash, no ult.
Yeah, and so it's a little bit more precarious for him, like you said, which also then frees up Udyr to take the second round of grubs.
Wait a minute, Sona, you're not supposed to be there. Even that's their side of the lane. The supporters just do not have fear. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you can see just how aggressive both sides are, because on one side they're playing for their they're both playing for their playoff lives, right? But one side is down in this match 1-0, and that's Edge of Diamonds on this blue side, and they're playing like it. They're being aggressive. They're trying to make plays in order to win, and a lot of them are winning out, which is huge. Because a lot of times with these desperation style plays, whenever you get into this kind of mindset, you tend to not make them work, but they're making them work, which is really good.
It's quite an interesting thing. The Sona, unfortunately, is being constantly bullied, which means that people have played League of Legends long enough. Oh, and speaking of bullied, the Sona goes right down to the MF, and the Udyr circles around and manages to get the Nilah. Unfortunately, had to pop the ghost just in case. And we're going straight to the mid lane. Wei is just bullying the Jace. Is going back and forth. But unfortunately, it's not going back and forth in the same lane. Wei showing success in the mid lane with the Draven and the LMF showing success in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you can see they're now trying to rotate constantly around the map, trying to make something happen, because it feels like they're just losing out in this Nilah lane.
Oh, Lee Sin took the Q, does the kick, but Udyr survives barely. Oh, the Wei solo dolo damage on the artillery. Whoa, the Wei goes down too. Where's everyone coming from? The Jace goes down, he survives. The Lee Sin goes down, and Jax is the sole survivor. Wait a minute, there's a huge cliff coming your way, Jax. No, you survived good. He survived the fall. The Malphite just wanted to drop a Q real quick just to be a part of the fight.
Yeah, and you can see he's stepping up a little bit. He's just looking to clear the wave, make sure that they don't take this mid tower at all. But while all that's happening, another turret plate going over to the side of Nilah and Sona. I mean, it's just so back and forth on both sides of the rift right now. I mean, 13 to 10. We've had more kills than we've had almost double the amount of kills than we've had minutes in this game, and we're gonna get more right now.
Oh my goodness, both teams are collecting themselves at the bottom. Draven just pushes up on the Sona. Sona's just a free kill at this point, but no, MF steps forward too much. The Malphite in the bot lane? Who would have guessed? The Udyr starts pushing in with the Phoenix Stance ult. The Edge of Diamonds managing to push back Defend the Faith. Right now they're rotating towards the Dragon. Will be able to get it? No, right now Defend the Faith are trying to push in, but Jace is beating down the cliff. The cliff goes right on top of the MF. MF goes down, but so does the cliff. Right now both teams are destroying each other left and right. The MF has to go down with the Nilah returning, and the Lee Sin following Lee Sin rules. You hit the Q, you take the Q. But the Wei takes him down. The Jax tries to go on the Wei, but the Wei takes down the Jax. And both teams looking like they are almost even in kills and in deaths. But the Dragon's like, hey guys, what about me?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a massive fight that was. And the Dragon didn't go down. So we now have double the amount of kills than we had for minutes. And this Nilah got a huge ult off, allowing for the rest of the team to follow up on that at the end of the fight, which is absolutely massive. And Wei really poking them out, getting them off the Dragon, as it looks like we might have a slight technical issue. And if you haven't been looking for very long at just Riot in general, there is a spectator bug going around. So because of that, we're going to investigate it on our end. And while we do that, we are going to send it to a quick break while we investigate. And if we are not able to recover right now, we'll do it off of a replay file from the point at which we lost it. And we will come back on and let you know one way or the other what happens with that. So we'll send it to break, and we will update you shortly on what we're doing going forward.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, do that.
Past 強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える何かに怯え走り続けたその虚しさのしじまに何を見て何を探してきた自分の声がただ響く幾千万の星の中で惹かれて出会った守り手たちよ回る回る時の輪の中で自分の弱さ強さの先に同じ空誰かが見上げてそう信じて消されない虹の奇跡が届けと冷たい指で涙拭ったあの君がもう帰れない水平線目指して飛び立つ自分の願いを抱いて幾千万の星に呼ばれ交わりすれ違う守り手たちよ回る回る時に抗って未来を願ってもいいですか儚さから目をそらしたぐりせる道の兆しの向こうかける希望あなたの光あなたの命いたずらに知らさないようにそっとくれた記憶胸に熱く灯し約束の地へもう振り返らずに恋願う歌は空高く世界に銀河に広がってくそれがいつか風となり消えて新たな日が始まる越えてゆく時の輪の中で確かに刻みつけたきらめき同じ空誰かが見上げてる信じたから消されない虹の奇跡残した
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on unfortunately, we have some good news and some bad news. Ice, go ahead and inform the wonderful audience what we have in store.
Absolutely. So what happened was we had an unfortunate spectator bug error happen, whereas we could not recover the live spectate game. So the good news is we did get the replay file from the teams. We are able to cast off of that, and we will move forward with replay files for the rest of the stream. I don't know if it's going to a game 3 or not, but in case that it is, we will also be doing that off of a replay as well. So that is where we're headed right now. We are going to hop back into the game right now. And we are starting off at the 13-minute mark once again. That is where we left off. And yeah, so there was a big dragon fight. Dragon still hasn't been taken. Teams are kind of evenly matched right now, favoring Edge of Diamonds just a little bit right now. This Draven is popping off at 5, 2, and 4, does have that Eclipse, but on the other side, Nyla does have that Collector. So we're in for a fun match. It seems like it was a long one, so let's see how it plays out.
So far, both teams are common neutral right here, the 30-minute, 40-second minute mark here. Currently, it's looking like both teams are not doing too much. The Udyr is seemingly sneaking Dragon. None of the Defend the Phase people see it. I think they're more focused on the fact that their bottom turret just went down.
Yeah, and that's the power of this MF Draven lane right now. They just have a lot more poke power than the Sona and the Nyla do. But the Sona and Nyla will scale into the game eventually. It's all dependent on how long it's going to take them. But this Draven is at a very strong power point right now. Is almost 30 CS up over the
Whoa,
side.
the Lee Sin's
Nyla.
going straight onto the Draven. The Draven has to flash, but unfortunately he has to die anyways. The Lee Sin manages to stick to him. Nyla takes the kill. Yeah, the Collector is making big strides right now down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do. The Draven just, again,
Well, hold on,
overpushed.
the Jackson just popped the ghost, is threatening the Malphite. The Malphite has to flash right now. He's pretty low. The Jackson is pushing in. Is anyone responding? No, the Jax is letting the Malphite live. He's gonna go and help the Udyr. And right now, the mid lane is looking to be the source of action right now. MF is popping her Rain, her EO over them. I figured it'd be more of a fight, but Hue is walking away, grabbing the blue buff. Everyone's
Did you
hovering
know that Lee
mid.
Sin
Oh,
here, he
Lee
was on a
Sin,
ward.
you chose a horrible time to invade. Lee Sin trying to warp hop out, but instead gave them a free 50 gold on the pink. And who was it? The Udyr manages to take the kill. No, excuse me. The MF, I don't know who took the kill. I'm gonna say the Jays. The Jays probably needed the most there. And Udyr responds by taking the Herald, popping in the mid lane.
Does he have his driver's
whoa.
license?
He's
Yes,
goes
it looks like
swerving
he
in,
does.
goes straight for the mid lane. Good. Alrighty, he didn't miss it. I'm usually bad at that myself, but currently he managed to take one. MF ult on top. They really want to make sure they're taking out this mid lane. Are they responding? Wave shoots his ult. Will he be able to do anything about it? Whoa, the MF goes straight down. Lisa manages to finish her off. They're pushing back. Edge of Diamonds right now. Will Lee Sin take that Q? That is unfortunate. We expected much more of you, Lee Sin. But currently right now, 17-14. Defend the Faith is fighting back. They're trying to make sure this monster of a Draven doesn't get more monsters than he already is.
Yeah, he's already very strong. 5, 3, and 5. Did give over that shutdown kill to the Nyla, but does have that Essence Revert now. He is very much online, ready to go to keep on skirmishing. He is farming extremely well. But on the other side, Hue is a massive damage dealer, so Draven has to be very careful about how they step up into lanes if the Hue is anywhere near around, because they can absolutely just get blown up. Looking at itemization for a few seconds here, Jax has their Triforce. Udyr is going for the AP Udyr route, does have that Liandry's completed. Where on the other side, it looks like a Jace. I don't know that crown item off the top of my head, I'll be honest. I think that's one of the new ones. No, that's the Hubris. And then Draven does have the Essence Reaver and Eclipse completed. as Dragon is being taken.
Whoa, hold
Right.
on. Lee Sin's taking the Q. He wants to flash right in, but he has to Warthog out. The Udyr drops the Phoenix Dance ult, but Nyla does not care. Nyla ults right on top of the Udyr. Udyr goes straight down. We're going straight to the top lane. Malphite, you know you cannot fight that Jack. Jackson takes him down. The camera's going wild. Going straight back to the mid lane. Bottom Roiver. Oh man, the way dodged the MF ult, but goes down through the Draven. The Lee Sin gets killed by the Jace. Currently, Nyla and Sona have to back away, but the Jace and the MF want to keep chasing. The MF does not care. She will stop them. Jace flashes right on top of the Nyla, but the Sona ult goes right back towards the Jace. But MF is managing to to drop the exhaust on the Nyla. Nyla goes down. Nyla's 5-5. Jace takes the kill, and it looks like Jax is extremely eager to know he does not want to die. Thank goodness, manages to get out. And currently 20-15, 40 seconds on the Dragon. At this point in the game, I'd figure somebody's confidence would waver, but neither team know the definition of fear.
No, they keep diving right into these fights. This Lee Sin has their tunnel is picking up the tunneler right now, looking just to get more and more damage out. Has that Eclipse. This Malphite does already have their Sunfire Cape. I very much don't like this itemization, but it is what it is. And then, you know, the Luden's item already completed on the way as well. Collector for the Nihilus. This Nihilus falling farther and farther behind this Draven. Doesn't have their second item yet, where Draven is sitting on an item in 3 quarters.
Malphite sneaking. Alright, he just drops the Q. It was looking like it was about to be an explosive battle. Yes, there is an explosive battle. Udyr gets caught between the Lee Sin and the Wei. Udyr goes down to the Nyla. Whip smack straight on top. And the Defend the Faith are pushing through the mid lane. Bot River. They're turning around, going straight to the Dragon. Will Edge of Diamonds respond? No, they won't. They're looking at the Wei. Jax goes right on top, but forgets that Wei gets a free fear. And Wei manages to run away, but do they see this Dragon? No, they have an inkling of faith. Whoa! The Sona ult right on top of the Jax. The Jax tries to respond, but the Nyla's taking them straight out. The Draven shoots out the ult, but takes out nobody. Everyone gets low. Lee Sin manages to steal the Dragon away from Edge of Diamonds.
Very well played by Defend the Faith there. They Wei managed to avoid the Jax over aggression. Then Drax, noticing that the rest of the team wasn't there, decided to face check a dark brush that they had no business face checking, and paid for it with his life. He almost took out Nyla, but couldn't quite pull it off. And that's the power of this composition coming out from Defend the Faith right now. It's very simple in that they want to focus down one champion at a time, and they have the damage to do so. Looks like Paradisus might be in a little bit of trouble here. Fang is going in quite hard on them. Not enough armor yet built.
The Jace almost taking out the Malphite. The Malphite having the ult out. All it needed was an EQ, but it's looking like that skill combo was not up. Ice, currently everything's looking somewhat even. The next objective up is Baron, but no one's looking at it. Everyone's trying to get an advantage somewhere, and I'm loving this aggression from the Jax. He does not care. Flash, Ghost, all of it. He wants to get on top of somebody.
Yeah, and he's trying to force his presence on the map somehow. As
Draven almost takes out the Lee Sin. That one Q manages to make them to hop away. I'm sorry, go ahead, Ice. No one's scared, yeah.
Yeah, you just have a lot of damage coming out as Nyla is diving on top of this Draven right now. Draven having to flash away here. Marco is in a little bit of trouble, though, as they are deciding to run away right now.
Just the Ghost popped, but they're turning back around, back and forth. Everyone's playing red light, green light. Right now, the Jace drops down to EQ, but for once, the Sona does not take about 60% damage. They're walking away. They're hovering the Baron, but no. Defend the Faith are going towards the mid lane, Ice. Will they be able to stop it?
They should be able to stop this tower from going down. Yeah, no, they won't be able to stop it, but Baron is not really on the cards yet for either team. No team has really enough damage and tankiness to just straight up take a Baron in the face of the other team. So I would be surprised if somebody attempted to do it. Um, what you are seeing though is the power of this Wei into Jax. The Jax can never really aggress onto the Wei because of that fear, and so they're always going to be able to just keep pushing down that turret, and that's just what we're seeing.
I know,
Wow.
I know. This crazy game is just sapping all the energy out of us. Back and forth. Both teams are just going nuts. The Draven, the Hui, the Jax. It's all getting a little bit too much, and they keep hovering the Baron side. They want to take it, but right now, like you said, no one's in a position to take it. No one's tanky enough or strong enough. But right now, in the mid lane, Persona drops the ult and the exhaust has to go down. Down goes the Draven, and the fight in the top lane still happening. Jax, you were the aggressor, but now you're being aggressed upon. The Hui almost takes out the Jax. The Jax has to dodge very definitely. The Lee Sin going in. Oh, the Jax manages to get out. Udyr being a great buddy here, making sure that his top laner gets out. And currently Defend the Faith are in a position to take the top lane, but again, they're hovering towards that Baron. Will they be able to take it? The Jace is going straight onto the Way. Will they be able to hit it? No, the Way hits the fear, drops the ult. Will it be able to survive? No, the Lee Sin made damn sure that damage was enough. And right now, it is 4 versus 5. The 5 opting to go back. It's looking like they want to reset. The Dragon coming up in 55 seconds.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart play. Again, you still don't quite have the damage and tankiness. Udyr is up, Jax is up, Draven is up. They can shred you if you aren't careful. So resetting tempo-wise, getting onto this map, this dragon's up in 40 seconds. Prepping for this dragon is exactly what they should be doing right now. They need to get some deeper vision, and you can see they have wards in the river. They need to push those into that jungle. They need to work as a team, walk through there. Seed the top tower. It's fine. Your Malphite is more needed for this fight than to pick up the 2 or 3 minions that they're losing on the top side right now. This is not what they should be doing.
Right now, Dragon comes up in 15 seconds. Defend the Faith is already in the air, warding up everywhere. The Edge of Diamonds having no way to really go in without without fighting Misfortune, having to drop the ult, not really finding anything with it. Right now, that's just one less ult for them to work with, and they're currently hovering the mid lane. Lee Sin going around towards the mid lane, almost hits the MF, but the Way said, "Hold on, I'll help you out, buddy." MF goes straight down, and it's just an explosive fight. Udyr is taking out one. Let's see, the Cliff goes down with another. Oh, another great stun in the mid lane. Way's going down slowly. Draven's chasing him down, has to flash. Sona's going down. Boom! The Draven takes her out. The Draven has to go down, unfortunately, as well. Udyr manages to survive. He's the sole survivor. Lee Sin and Wei are the survivors on their team, and it's looking like because of that, they're able to take the Dragon, and all Udyr can take is the Raptors. Wait a minute, he doesn't give a damn. He sees the Way super low. He's pushing in. 1 versus 2. Man has Animal Spirits going in. Boom! He goes in with the Spirit, the Phoenix Stance ult. Won't even take anybody. No, he's going up seriously low. Oh, the Dragon said, "Let me get some of that action." And Way takes down the Udyr. Free Dragon for the side of Defend the Faith, but it hasn't stopped yet. Will MF do anything? Does she have her ult? It's coming up slowly. She does drop it. Good thing the Lee Sin was able to smite right on time. This has been a consistent play, Ice.
Yeah, and the thing with this MF ult, she's basically dropping on cooldown because it's not really there to deal any real damage. It doesn't have great AP scaling. It really has better AD scaling. And you can see she's built Liandry's and she's built the Oblivion Orb. So she's really there to provide anti-heal for the team and to make sure that this Sona healing doesn't come online, and that anytime that someone does go in, they're not going to get the healing like the Lee Sin or the Nyla, and that's really what the important thing is happening.
Sona, you can ward, but you can get caught out. The Draven dropping ult, dropping Qs, but she's half health, manages to survive. The MF and the Draven are aggressing in this area, making sure that they have enough time to de-ward and ward up on their own for prepping for Baron. Their bot lanes are being pushed by the Jace and the Malphite. The Jax popped the Ghost. He really wants to take out this Way, but Way uses his Zhonya's to survive a little longer, manages to fear. Jax is just spending every single summoner to take him out. Unfortunately, has to go down to the Lee Sin. That is just a feels bad man moment. Udyr barely survives. He's caught between a rock and a hard place, but has to go down by the Lee Sin. The Jace goes straight onto the Lee Sin, but the Lee Sin manages to fight back. Draven goes in, boom, drops the Jax, the Lee Sin in 1Q. Everyone's down. Malphite, excuse me. The Misfortune is the sole survivor. Nyla really wants the Misfortune, drops the Ghost, but all she has to do is drop the E and walk away. Currently it's 3-1, and Defend the Faith are about to take the top lane.
Yeah, and they're in a good position to take this turret here, go back, take all of the camps as well. Udyr doesn't spawn for another 5 seconds, so they can take at least the blue buff from him, so just denying another camp to this Udyr, to the team, making sure it's all about gold denial at this point. You know, you're working on third items pretty much across the board, third to fourth items depending on who you are, and it's really important to pick up those camps whenever they're up, and it's smart to take them away whenever you make a play like that, as you walk back out.
Right now we're at 28 minutes and 30 seconds. That Defend the Faith opted to reset, going right back onto the map. Both teams have 2 dragons. The fifth dragon now coming up for another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Right now, the teams are trying to push out the waves. Lee Sin clearing his side of the jungle. Defend the Faith are looking to try to control vision around the Baron on top side. Both teams are hovering. Lee Sin is towards the bot. I think they're trying to make a play on the Jace, but the Jace and the Hui are mostly there to make sure the waves aren't pushed too hard one side or the other. Right now, Lee Sin is right on top of the Udyr. Udyr manages to walk away, drops the Phoenix, tries to go back in. Lee Sin hits and goes right back. He's doing a hit and run. Little cheeky Lee Sin plays. Jace almost goes down to the Hui and the Nyla. Does he dodge? Yes. Oh, but unfortunately, the Nyla hits him with the whip. The Draven gets out, but does the Udyr get out? No, unfortunately, Draven shoots out the ult, but nobody really gets low enough to do anything about it. Currently, it's 3-5. Defend the Faith are pushing the bot lane. Lee Sin wants to go in, forces the Misfortune flash. The team goes right back onto the turret, hoping to get it before they're pushed back out. Nyla goes in, takes out the turret, goes right on top of the Draven, ults right on top of Misfortune, and Draven's getting pushed back. But here comes the Jax, wanting to get something. He gets the Sona. Does he get the Lee Sin? He's still going. He doesn't stop. He's still going. Doesn't want to stop. The Lee Sin has to W straight onto the Hui. The Hui takes down the Jax, but the Draven cues down, buddy. I'll take revenge for you. Kills the Hui. Right now, we are 29-31 at 30 minutes ice.
Yeah, and we're dead even in gold. Unfortunately, it is a Cloud Soul, so not really useful for anybody in this game except for like Udyr, because it's the most useless soul in the game. I am sorry if there's any Cloud Soul lovers in Twitch chat right now. It's the worst soul in the game. Like, it's not even a real soul for what it gives you. And so it looks like on the side of Edge of Diamonds, they are going to start up this Baron. It is a good point for them. Lee Sin's not up for another 9 seconds play. The strongest member is not up for another 10 seconds. So this is really just a free Baron based off the tempo play of the overstay on bot side.
We'll see if Malphite the Boulder will do anything. No, he's just dropping vision, and Edge of Diamonds manages to take the first Baron of the game as far as we know. I'm going to pretend that it's the first Baron of the game. Right now, Dragon is up. Defend the Faith want to get there first. It's looking like they're having a very good amount of vision all around. Udyr's chasing down the... Whoa, Udyr, you forgot there was a whole other team there. It's taken down by the Nyla. Defend the Faith absolutely has control of this. Dragon is going to get 3 air drakes. They're going to be moving really fast, and their ults are going to come back really fast. But other than that, like you said, it's not going to really benefit Defend the Faith, but it's better than having no dragons at all.
Absolutely. I mean, there is something, but it's really negligible. So now they just need to start working down just a good ult onto the Draven.
Gets right on top of the Draven. Draven tries to survive. The Hui drops the artillery. Nyla tries to dive in with her team, but does she survive? Yes, too many shields to count. Lee Sin, Sona, all the shields possible, really. And the turret goes down. Lee Sin is just going Lee Sin crazy. Miss Fortune is able to dodge. Defend the Faith are pushing in. No, he gets the Q. Flashes, tries to R and auto, but doesn't really take out anybody. The Udyr drops the Udyr ult. The Phoenix Dance taking down the Malphite. Miss Fortune reversing her fate, taking down the Lee Sin. This is absolutely nuts. 2 members on Defend the Faith have lost Baron, and currently 3 are trying to fight back and push, but unfortunately they've been deftly defended against by Edge of Diamonds.
Yeah, no, very well played by the defense for Edge of Diamonds, punishing the Lee Sin, going way too deep there, kind of ditching the rest of his team when the Udyr was running on. This Lee Sin is, at this point, needs to play on Udyr duty to protect this way. Nilah can dive in and kind of be okay. She has a little bit of an invuln time from projectiles, but for this Hwei, he needs all the protection he can get because that's your win con right now. If you can manage to protect this Hwei and make sure that he can dish out the damage he needs, you are easily winning these fights. You can see just how easy it is to blow up this Udyr when you have the Lee Sin, the Hwei, and the Nilah around. It's just playing around that. But on the other side, they're pushing down these turrets. They have a Jace, they have Serpent's Fangs. They can start to burn through these shields. And you can see just how strong
like
they are.
They want to start this fight. Miss Fortune starts off the fight with her ult right on top of the Nilah. The Nilah goes straight out. Dona is just getting bullied. Poor support. I feel bad. But unfortunately, the Rock tries to go in, but the Rock is being forced out. Jace is just smacking him around. Boom. The cliff goes down. Edge of Diamonds push it in with Baron. This might be game, Ice.
I mean, this should be game. You have, I mean, 4 dead on this. I mean, I don't see why this isn't game. I mean,
he's fighting back, manages to take out the Jace, survives, flashes away, drops the Zhonya's. He might be able to defend maybe for another 15 seconds if they just stop hitting the Nexus, but that's not going to be possible. Edge of Diamonds take game number 2, which means we get a game number 3.
I mean, yeah, and that's perfect for us, right? We saw just how good the side of Edge Diamonds can be, and in game 1, Defend of Faith played it very, very well. And the issues that we had in game 1 with Edge of Diamond was they didn't feel cohesive, they weren't pushing their leads, and they were backing off at awkward times and didn't have the right tempo advantages. But coming into game 2, it was pedal to the metal, and that's exactly how they kept playing it. They played it very well, and I'm excited for game 3. Now, because of the spectate bug that happened in game 2, game 3 is currently being played. We are not going to jump in mid-game. Instead, we're going to wait for the replay file for that game to reach us, and then we will work off of the replay file. So we're gonna, unless of course you have any comments from the game, after that we will send it to a break.
Currently, no. I am very excited to see the picks, the bans, the playstyle both teams have decided to adopt here, because both teams have taken a game. Now they're getting a feel for how each other plays, what's optimal, what's not optimal, how one person is, whether or not they're the carrier or not. So other than that, all we can do is said we'll see you after the break, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen Esports Quetzalcoatl with Ice. We are back again. We managed to stave off the time to get into the next game. So, Ice, going straight into this draft pick here, as you can see here below us. What do you think? What do you see here? What are you liking? What are you disliking here?
It's definitely some very interesting picks coming out. I see Tryndamere coming out in the top lane, a Twitch Pyke bot lane with a Ziggs mid and a Sejuani in the jungle. I actually really like that comp. It's a lot of fun. You have a split pushing Tryndamere that can do very well. And then a Twitch Pyke, it's just a hyper aggressive bot lane. And then looking on the other side of the rift, we have Olaf, Xin Zhao, Akali, Jinx, Milio. A very safe, consistent comp that we've seen time and time again. There's no spiciness to it. We have an Akali. It's not spicy just because there's no new picks that we haven't seen before, in a sense. We know what these champions like to do, how they like to play the game, and it's a lot of fun. The Jinx is going to want to scale. The Millia will help with that range issue that she might start to have a little bit once you get the Ziggs or the Twitch and the Pyke in there. So that'll be interesting. I think the linchpin this game is going to be this Akali. If this Akali starts to pop off, she's going to run this game because Twitch, Pyke, Ziggs, all super squishy, all want to carry, and they're going to struggle if an Akali is always on them and always killing them.
Now, looking at the bands, I'm a little interested on these top bands in particular. It's looking like a Tryndamere absolutely did not want to go against the oh man, I'm blanking on his name, but against this infamous
The
super
Cassante or the
tank.
Gragas?
Oh, thank you, the Cassante. The
There you go.
Cassante, the super tank that could rival even Ornn. And then on the other side, again, banning the Fiora. They recognize these threats, making sure they get rid of them. It makes me imagine that the Tryndamere player can see Cassante as a threat to his split pushing versus, I'm going to assume it's the Olaf, where there's not many people that can duel him, and you're banning the super duelist. So they're trying to even out these games very much for this game number 3.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a very exciting game 3. And I think we just, we can talk about this draft all day long, but it all comes down to what they do on the Rift. So I say let's get right into it. Let's get into the game and let's see what they want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting into game number 3, Edge of Diamonds versus Defend the Faith. And this is putting their game on the line. Who will leave this game victorious 2-1, and leaving the other team to think about what they could have done better? And what better way to start game number 3 than going straight into a 5-man defense all across the map? It's looking like they're pulling all the stops out here, Ice.
Yeah, and they just, it's a very safe start, making sure that, you're not giving anything over to either team, and making sure that you're set up in a way that can actually put yourself in a good foot to start the game. That's where it all matters. Like, this early game is extremely, extremely important. It looks like we're going to have a collapse onto Grant here, though. Dorado hopping over that wall.
Tryndamere is utilizing his infinite, never-stopping E to chase people down, but it was all for the sake of perhaps making the Xin Zhao use a ward. I'm going to assume, nope, they managed to push him out and drop the ward exactly as they planned, and nothing has changed. Well, nope, something has changed. The blue side, Edge of Diamonds, deciding to have their Sejuani start on the bot side versus the Xin Zhao starting on his red. This says to me that the Edge of Diamonds wants to prioritize the mid or their top lane. What do you think, Ice?
Yeah, and Sejuani does actually prefer to start on that side of the map anyways. It's just an easier clear for him overall. And so doing that, one, does allow you to path top side, does set you up nicely for grub takes if you want to kind of clear into them. But at the same time, this Tryndamere is pushing in. Sejuani, Tryndamere, I mean, they have good synergy because of the Sejuani E that you can utilize with other melee champions, but the issue is it's hard to dive an early Olaf under tower because he does get that extra auto attack. He does have that execute. It is just a little bit more difficult for you to dive that Olaf, especially as a Tryndamere who doesn't have ult. So you're wanting to bounce that wave as the Tryndamere early, so that way this Olaf is in a position to be ganked when this Sejuani gets up there.
Currently 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Both junglers have begun their second half of their route. Both junglers starting on their wolves respectively. Tryndamere is already pushing in the Olaf, like you said, wanting to bounce that wave. The Emilio and the Jinx pushing in, which means that one, the Xin Zhao really doesn't have an opportunity to gank unless he's very patient, and two, doesn't put them in a position to really take anything other than farm. So currently in this early game, both teams are being very careful in how they execute these first possible 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and you can see an early gank happening here onto the Ziggs.
Oh no, the
Flash.
Xin Zhao already going onto the Ziggs. The Ziggs almost gets out. Will he be able to do so? Oh, Xin Zhao, you had a good start, and the Sejuani manages to counter gank in first blood to the Sejuani.
And it was crucial there that E coming out, the Shuriken toss coming out from the Akali actually misses and hits a minion instead, so did not get to jump to the Ziggs like they were planning. And that's what, that little bit of damage that was missed out caused the Xin Zhao to 1 die and the Ziggs to live. So that's first blood going over to the Sejuani. Not the greatest, but is still good that it is first blood. Now, looking to reset. The Ziggs almost has perma pressure in this lane just by how this lane is going to go. A melee into range. What else can they do? Are they afraid to gank it again? I hope not, because that's your linchpin. You need to get them ahead. And right back on the gank path is Grant.
It's looking like the Xin Zhao wants to get on top of the both invisible brothers down here, but it's looking like he can't really lock them down. Both the bot lane really trying to lock down the Pyke, but he's getting away, and the Pyke manages to survive. So Xin Zhao puts down the pressure, but really doesn't take anything other than a little bit of HP pars.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad gank. It did force them out a little bit, allowing the wave to reset a little bit for his team. So I wouldn't be upset with that gank at all. But Margarine really still struggling with that health bar in that lane with Ziggs TPing back in. It's time for them to now back off as well.
It's looking like the Ziggs will continue, like you said, bullying the Akali. Akali, I think, was blessed to be able to have that gank and stay on top with a good amount of CS, 9 CS total, but hopefully she can stay a little bit ahead and not be poked out too hard in the early game. And right now, the bot lane's looking to engage, specifically with the Pyke, wanting to get those Qs, but so far not so good. And the Xin Zhao is sneaking the dragon. I'm loving it right now. He only has a health crystal, so his damage will be lacking, but with the amount of sustain that he has, he might be able to take it. We'll see. He's not getting too low. We're just going to see the excitement. Right now, the junglers, the jungle on the side of Edge of Diamonds have no clue. Nobody has any clue that this is happening right now. We'll be able to take it. He is close. The bot lane is trading, so the Jinx and the Millie are making sure that they take the dragon, and there it goes. First dragon at 6 minutes, going down to defend the faith.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that no one was really rotating to it. Sejuani was up on the grubs. This is kind of like a normal take in this meta right now. Ever since the grubs came out, you trade first grubs for dragon. One side opts into one of them, and the other side either responds or opts into the other side. However it goes, typically that's what you want to see happen, is one side gets the grubs, one side gets the dragon. Nice thing for the side of Defend the Faith, though, is it is an ocean dragon. Unfortunately, not a soul dragon, obviously, but still, that little bit of healing over time is still going to be quite useful, especially for this Akali in this Ziggs lane, who this Akali needs to scale up a little bit into it, get a couple of components and maybe an item before she can really start to hurt the Ziggs. This ocean dragon, not soul, my bad, is going to help her kind of sustain through the lane a little bit.
Now, The early game's still going. The only kill is on the Sejuani. So everything has slowed down beyond that fight. Right now, the Jinx is trying to go in on the Twitch. The Twitch wants to trade back, but he really can't do anything about those rockets. Milio giving Jinx an extra amount of range, but he manages to walk away. Do they continue the assault? No. Twitch is backing. And Sejuani is in the tri-bush, goes right onto the Milio, drops the ult. Will they be able to follow up? Yep, the Pyke flashes over the Milio to make sure he is stunned. Well and good. They want to pass over the kill to Twitch, and he takes it. Second kill goes to Edge of Diamonds. Twitch finally taking that first kill. The kill and the farm, putting him way ahead of the Jinx.
Yeah, and that's really well played by the Sejuani to jump with the Q and then make sure that they can land as another good
Wait a minute,
Pyke.
the Pyke, because Pool takes the Ignite, takes the Flash, and manages to put the Jinx on the back foot. Right now, they want to make sure the Jinx is uncomfortable as hell. The Akali just does not care, taking that that turret gold. The Ziggs trying his best to push her off, and she manages to take exactly what she wanted. The Edge of Diamonds have come to play, Ice.
Yeah, and you can see that they are really playing this very well. Ziggs is playing on like the absolute edge of where they should be to make sure that they aren't really giving this Akali any sort of timing to aggress upon them, clearing out the waves the way they need to. And then, yeah, they lost a turret plate, which is not the greatest to Ziggs. You really want to be the one always aggressing, but still, making sure that they always are not under any kill threat, even though this Akali is one that can just absolutely blow them up if you aren't careful.
Now, currently, right now, the top lane, Tryndamere is trying to be cheeky. So over here, showing off against the Olaf. The Pyke is walking straight into the Jin Xiao. Will he be able to get out? He does. The Undertow making the stun go off. Right now, Jin Xiao wants to make sure that his bot lane does not destabilize. And, of course, Tryndamere upsetting the top laner, hoping to make him tilt before the mid game comes around.
Yeah, and the thing with that proxy is it's you can do it when you're strong and you know where the jungler is, so it's not bad. But right now with an Olaf has enough sustain that it's really hard to proxy and gain an advantage over him in that fashion. And you can see just how much stronger he is. This Tryndamere does have to run away. Olaf already picking up those plated steel caps, so taking reduced damage from the Tryndamere as well means that he's going to have a much easier time in this lane and can easily just match these proxies without any issue. As it looks like we might have a dive forming on the bot lane, but Akali is deciding against it, using that roam timer to threaten it, but not make it happen. Dragon.
Yeah, right now I was going to point out that Sejuani was working her way up towards the Grubs, but she's opting to turn back around. Akali's wanting to dive the Ziggs, but right now the bot lane's going off as well. My goodness, the Milio got caught out and gets assassinated by the Pyke, but here comes the mid lane. Finally, the Akali gets pushed back. Sejuani goes in, but she forgot that she has her mid laner, and the Ziggs goes right on top. Akali is following up with Jin Xiao. Sejuani manages to save her mid lane, but will she be able to save herself? No, gets caught up by the E. Does Akali live? No, she almost has to execute with the R, but gets taken out by the turret. Currently, right now, we have Jin Xiao and Ziggs trying to play the game of chicken, and Jin Xiao is the loser. We have Ziggs taking 2 kills in the mid lane, 5-1 at 11 minutes.
Yeah, very well played by that Ziggs. Again, playing on that knife's edge and making sure to bait in those kills just enough so that they can now pick up a double kill. Unfortunately, the Sejuani does go down to the Akali. Akali does have an almost 20 CS lead over the Ziggs, but overall, this Ziggs is playing very well. Has 150 gold bounty, is stacking up that tier, has 4 stacks on their Dark Seal, and has their Luden's Echo item completed. Like, very well done by them so far, just to be the stable mid laner and making sure that they are always in the spot that they need to be to make something happen. And you can see why they're just so good in that mid lane right now. And because of what happened, that's now all 6 Grubs going over to the side of Edge of Diamond with the Hextech Dragon on the board now, but no one there. Xin Zhao is not in the vicinity to do that, so it's not something that they can take, as we might have something happen in the bot lane here.
Looking like Pike is doing everything in his power to start something. The Twitch flashes on top, forcing the Amelia to ult, but unfortunately, he can't survive an assassination. Jinx manages to turn around, taking out the Pike, wants to chase down the Twitch, but the Twitch goes invisible, so all she can do is trying to push the lane. As everyone's coming down the river, Ziggs meets the Akali, but the Akali manages to push us back. They're still fighting in the bot lane. Rat versus the same person. But the Rat manages to take down the Jinx. Right now, the Akali is still trying to survive. The Sejuani just not letting her breathe. Oh, the ult on top. Does she survive? Barely. Doran's shield giving her that little bit of oomph. And right now, we're at 7-2. The Edge of Diamonds going straight ham sandwich. The Zinshao wanted to take the dragon, but boom, there's a Sejuani waiting in the pit there. They're trying to walk away. Zinshao is forced to ult. Pike is scaring them away, and there's a Tryndamere down here. The pressure is unimaginable, and now the second Drake goes to Edge of Diamonds. The way the game's going, I'm thinking it may go one way in specific, unless Defend the Faith does something to stop this path from going.
Yeah, and looking at where the game is headed right now, Olaf is getting solo time on the top side, but this bot lane is just hyper-aggressing onto this Jinx and Milio exactly how they should be, giving this Jinx no
Jinx
time to scale up.
Flash! Whoa! Twitch showing them a thing or two. Both ADC and support about to go down. Zinshao had to show to make sure that his bot lane survived. Twitch still wanting to get a little bit of action, but Emilio and Jinx are still careful. Right now, the top lane are fighting. Tryndamere is doing little Tryndamere things, poking away at the Olaf, but Olaf does not care. This is definitely the good makings of a game 3. No, but the Zinshao gets interrupted. Does anything else happen? Yes, the Tryndamere finally dies to Olaf. Does the Olaf survive? Absolutely not. Tryndamere pops the ult and flashes out and flashes his mastery, getting his very first kill in the top lane. Oh no!
Jinx snipe.
Takes out the Tryndamere. Tryndamere flashed that mastery way too soon. Was probably window shopping. How unfortunate. 8-3 at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, but the action doesn't stop. The Twitch walks straight into the Zinshao. Zinshao doesn't care if the Pike is there. He's about to take down the Twitch, but barely misses. Right on top, the Pike fights the Pike fights the Akali. Akali roaming down. Ziggs suddenly in the bot lane, tasked to teleport over, but he manages just to corner himself. 4 versus 1 in the bot lane. Will the Twitch survive? The Jinx is trying to push in the wave, while Akali is trying to push back their wave. Will the Ziggs survive? We were about to see the red wave trying to be cleared. Ziggs throwing every spell imaginable possible to survive, but they all collapse on top of him. Zinshao taking the brunt of the turret, but has to trade his life for the Ziggs. I'm not sure if that was a good dive or a bad dive, but Ziggs manages to go down. And Pike and Tryndamere are in the bot lane trying to make up for it. And currently, everything seemingly trying to calm down now. Sejuani in the top lane holding down the fort. Olaf trying his best to push in. And that was incredibly insane. That play extended for about a minute and a half. But Olaf said, "Hold on, pig. You don't belong here." Chasing down the Sejuani, but the Sejuani is way too tanky. Whoa! Akali just met up with a hook from Pike. But of course, Akali doing Akali things. All she has to do is fancy footwork and she dodges. The fight has not stopped, Ice.
Yeah, I mean, it's action across the map here. And, I mean, looking at where the action happened, they dove bot, got the Ziggs. They did lose their jungler in the process. So, and then because of the tempo timings, the side of Edge of Diamonds was able to take that bot lane turret. Olaf has been constantly pushing on top. Hasn't quite been able to take the turret yet. Sejuani coming up there saying, "Nope, I'm not going to give you that turret for free," as it looks like they were trying to aggress back onto Marco. They do take mid tower. That is the power of Ziggs on all this. So just barely eking out that turret and not giving over any kills, not giving Jinx any reset timers is absolutely massive when fighting a Jinx.
Just looking at that pressure made her shoot that rocket the wrong way. And right now, Tryndamere is still doing Tryndamere things. He knows that he really can't dive the Whoa! Sejuani wide with the ult. Olaf didn't really care. All he has to do is pop ult, but the ult was not up, so he's lucky he dodged it. Tryndamere is being extremely cheeky. He doesn't care if the Olaf can survive him or not. All he has to do is make the Olaf feel pressured. The Herald drop top. Will anything happen? A smite and a W goes down onto the Olaf, while the Akali is just trying to take out the Ziggs and may very well do it. Yes, 2 Qs will end it, but the top lane fight has not stopped. The Tryndamere is still going, almost down, almost have to pop ult, and he has popped ult. And the Knight, no, he's just burning to death by a red. And the Tryndamere finally goes down, but unfortunately, Olaf has to trade his life for it. The Pyke is just threatening with the hook, but he forgot he's 5% health. And right now, Defend the Faith are fighting back, even though they have lost a turret, Ice.
Yeah, and they lost the turret. They did manage to pick up the Ziggs kill on the bot side of the map. Akali did very well with that to isolate them, as it looks like Twitch might be looking for a potential play here. There's no one there that they're going to catch out, so they're just going to have to back here. It's not something that you normally would be doing as a Twitch. They might actually be able to sneak up behind the Akali, but right now, Akali's just going to be able to take the turret, and reset timers are allowing now for everybody to start setting up for this dragon, which is going to be the next major 5v5 fight that we see. Outer towers are all down for the side of Defend the Faith. They only have their inners left. On the side of Edge of Diamonds, they only have lost their top tier 1 so far. So a lot of standing gold on the map, on the blue side, for them to lose. But because of the pressure that they have and the tempo reset timers, they are first to dragon. This is extremely important. Ziggs starting to throw out their bombs, setting up these fights as...
Oh no, Sejuani engages with the ult. Xingqiu manages to ult, dodging a lot of damage, but he can't dodge that execute. Right now, the Sejuani manages to take the dragon, but will she be able to manage to take out another life after that? No, the Jinx manages to get out, but gets taken down by the Twitch ult. The Tryndamere is just going absolutely bonkers, but he has to go down as well, unfortunately. Right now, it's a Sejuani versus a Jinx, Sejuani Ziggs versus a Akali, but Akali manages to hit the E, boom, hits the Q, and now she's turning her attention on the Ziggs. Ziggs, will you be able to survive? All you have to do is just make her, nope. She decided not to walk all over the traps and manages to take out the Ziggs, the sole survivor in the slaughter. Right now, Edge of Diamonds eking out that fight win barely and managing to take the dragon at the same time.
Yeah, so Defend the Faith took the fight win, but they lost the dragon. That is crucial because now it is 1 mountain dragon and 4 Edge of Diamonds. Baron is spawning here in 4 seconds. No one really has the damage to take it on spawn. We're looking at a 25 to 30 minute Baron right now, but what matters is prepping these waves and start to knock down these turrets. Ziggs TPing to the mid tower, making sure that they don't lose it. He's spending everything to clear that wave, making sure Jinx gets no chance at taking that turret. Okay.
Currently, right now we're at 20 minutes, 15 to 13. Edge of Diamonds, 36,000 gold, almost 37, with Defend the Faith only at 33. It just goes to show that the gold are on the right people on the blue side. Twitch and Tryndamere going to be absolute monsters in the mid game right now. And if things continue, Tryndamere will be an unstoppable split pushing force. Because right now, they're pushing their way straight to Baron. They're engaging it 20 minutes in. Are they going to be able to take it, Ice? We're going to see, because right now, Defend the Faith are like, hell no. Xin Zhao going straight in, but is met with the Sejuani ult. Thankfully, he's able to ult and get himself out. And it's looking like this Baron push is stopped. Defend the Faith managing to push back Edge of Diamonds.
Yeah, no, and it was actually a very good Baron call there by the side of Edge of Diamonds. They knew that Akali was bot side, and they didn't, and it was gonna be at best a 5v4 for the side of Defend the Faith. So because of that, they wanted to force the Baron, force a fight, and maybe get something for it.
Trying to escape. He's trying to fight back. He's sitting there hacking away, but he thinks he cannot escape. Right now, the blue team is managing to come up. Tryndamere manages to survive. Boom! Flash E from the Olaf, but he has to trade his life to the Pyke for that kill. They managed to stop the split push, but a fed Pyke is never a good Pyke.
No, and I mean, Tryndamere was absolutely caught out of position there, and just the overchase by the Olaf, looking to get that kill, that desperation play, did mean they did get the kill onto the Tryndamere, but it did get traded back for their life. Looking forward now, it looks like Grant might be looking for something. Coach Pizza is going to walk in on him.
Oh my goodness. The Xin Zhao going straight in. The Pyke just dropping his combos on top. Will the Xin Zhao live? No, unfortunately not. The Twitch taking him out. Right now, Edge of Diamonds are trying to take ownership of this red side jungle. And it's looking like they're trying to take ownership of this Baron.
Yeah,
the
jungler's
going
down,
towards the
Baron's
mid.
free.
Oh no, that's a Twitch going invisible. Run, Jinx, run! The Jinx almost getting out. Will she be able to survive the poison? Yes, the Amelia does drop the heal. And right now, Kali threatening to respond to the Twitch. Twitch almost having his ghost expired, which means now he's a bit vulnerable unless his front line gets in front. But they're all going straight to the Baron. Baron being engaged on at 50% health. Right now, the red team are trying to respond. Akali in the middle of the team drops Zhonya's. Will that help? Maybe. Boom! Takes out the Ziggs. Right, right on top. The Jinx rocket going towards the fight, but now it doesn't matter because Tryndamere is going absolutely bananas. Drops. Oh, will he be able to walk out? Yes, he is, but he's barely. No, the Xin Zhao jumps right on top of him, takes him out barely. The Baron play is dead, but it's looking like Defend the Faith want to be the ones to revive it now.
Yeah, and you can see just how slow the Baron take was. They only had Ziggs and Sejuani on it, which is not the call. If you're going to make a Baron call like that, you need a damage dealer that can actually put out high DPS damage, and Ziggs is not that. So Twitch tried to delete Marco off map, did not work. So now they get their chance to the Baron, and it looks like it's going to be theirs unless the Sejuani can get here in time, and it doesn't look like it is. A huge Ziggs ult coming over the top, though.
Coming comes to Sejuani, she's looking for the steal. Will they be able to take it? No, oh, she's still on it. 2,000 HP on the Baron. Will she be able to take it? Yes, the steal from Sejuani. Defend the Faith are being pushed back. Will Ziggs chase? No, but he was damn sure ready to make sure to take him out if they decide to come any closer. Woo! Edge of Diamonds taking back their Baron. 24 minutes, 19 to 17.
And that was just a huge misplay by Defend the Faith. They were set up, they had it, and then Jinx placed her traps away from where the team was coming from, and everybody positioned in an awkward manner so nobody could actually defend the Sejuani entering, and just kind of handed that Baron over to the side of Edge of Diamonds. And now that's the second Mountain Dragon going over, putting them on Soul Point. So in 5 minutes time, we're going to have a soul fight unless the game is over, which I don't think it should be. This Baron should crack an inhib here. And with that, it would allow a lot of pressure coming out. So what I'm looking for in these next few minutes is probably a 1-4 coming out from the side of Edge of Diamonds. Tryndamere splitting off, making sure that they have side lane pressure, something that the Akali or the Olaf has to match. Akali can, and Ziggs can be on the other side if needed, but looks like they're going to try for a collapse here. Sejuani's nowhere near here, neither is Ziggs, so you have to be careful.
Tryndamere, this is not your split pushing lane, but he goes in anyway. The Pyke almost down, but that Kali catches him out. The Tryndamere wants to go on that Kali, but Tryndamere can't catch him if he keeps aiming slow. Xin Zhao doing everything in his power to make sure this Sword Man cannot go anywhere near the Jinx flashes onto the Tryndamere, but the Tryndamere manages to walk out. Sejuani sacrifices her life to make sure the Tryndamere gets out, and she's turning the tables. Xin Zhao almost getting taken down by this warrior from the Freljord. Right now, Sejuani has to turn back around, but she turns her attention to the Kali. The Kali's trying to take out the Ziggs, but the Ziggs manages to jump out. The Twitch dies to the Jinx. Everyone's going everywhere at once, but Sejuani is taking on 2 to 3 people at the same time. Jinx is just hammering away at the Sejuani, and finally, they managed to take down the tank. Defend the Faith, turning it back around, evening the gold, 47 to 46. That was insanity.
I mean, and that was 45. Olaf was constantly pushing, took 2 towers on the top side during that entire play. That is absolutely massive, a way big overstep. Dorado way over pushing on this Tryndamere, going into 4. Like, as a Tryndamere, you cannot be playing that way. And then this Pyke getting caught out very early, dying to the Akali, so didn't really offer anything with their ult even. as they want to actually just like dance around the fight, start it off with their hook, get the stun off, and then kind of wait for their ult timing or another good stun to come through. But they just got picked off way too early in that fight. Jinx, Xin Zhao, Akali, and Milio playing on a knife's edge with that, fighting off all 5 members from the side of Edge of Diamonds to really turn that fight around. And I mean, this game is beyond on a knife's edge because either team can win it, but we can see just how strong Defend the Faith can be if they get a fight that they like. Whew.
Currently,
Looking forward, it's now, we need to start seeing these towers fall for Defend the Faith. They need to start taking these towers. They're winning the fights. They have a lot of standing gold on the map, but can they do it?
Twitch manages to go in. He's trying to assassinate 1. He assassinates 2. Will he be able to assassinate 3? Everybody's jumping on top of the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao ults, but then he survives. The Pyke barely misses his ult. The Xin Zhao's still alive, but the Tryndamere in the soldier when he turns it around. Now here comes the Olaf. Finally, he found his way back into his team's arms, and he's trying to help him out fight. The Akali forces Zhonya's, but will she survive? No, the Tryndamere finds her, takes her out. Pops the ult. Will he be able to survive? Yes! Takes out 3! Triple kill Tryndamere. That might not be a split push, but damn, he split them in half.
And this Ziggs is now pushing and taking this top inhib, which is absolutely massive. They're going to have now perma pressure in this top lane as long as that inhib is active. As the Jinx from
Tryndamere
downtown.
the Rockets. Ooh, face the Rockets. Yeah.
Super Mega Death Rocket putting in a lot of work from downtown and making sure they can at least pick up something on the end there, but they lost top inhib, they lost mid tier 2. They're really struggling right now from that overaggress in the mid lane. So Baron, Dragon up in 50 seconds, Baron up in a minute 15. These are crucial times because of the map state right now. If Defend the Faith lose one of these fights, the game could pretty much be over depending on who is left up. So they need to set up these fights incredibly well. They need to get vision down right now in order to be able to walk into these into this dragon pit and have some semblance of a chance at getting back into this game. They cannot just give over a Mountain Soul. It is too strong. But it looks like they're going to be focusing in the mid lane instead and handing this dragon spawning in 10 seconds. They're not even looking at this right now. This is a very confusing play happening.
29 minutes in, 24 all. The goal difference kind of negligible. Edge of Diamonds have taken complete control of the dragon at this point in time. Olaf trying to be a hero, trying to see what's going on. And Ziggs is just trying to push him off, but Olaf is nowhere near the dragon, but the fight starts. He wants to get on the Ziggs. The Ziggs manages to get away with a flash, and now here comes Sejuani just tanking everybody. Drops every bit of CC on the Akali, but oh my goodness, the Twitch comes right from behind and just starts spraying and praying everywhere for a quadra kill. Right now, Edge of Diamonds are on the fast track to end this game. Ziggs on the top side, pushing in the super minions.
Yeah, and this could be game now. This is game. I mean, and absolutely, this is exactly what I said was gonna happen. If they lost the fight, that was gonna be game, and here it is. Very well played by Edge of Diamonds to come back, reverse sweep the series against Defend the Faith, taking the series 2-1 in a very, very clinical fashion in games 2 and 3. It never felt like there was times where the games were close and that it could go either way, but it always felt like they were always in the driver's seat during those moments, especially in that Draven game, fighting so early. It looked close, but that Draven just always outscaling that Nilah, and it never really felt like anybody could get into that game. And then into this one, like, yeah, the Akali was popping off. That was supposed to be the linchpin of Defend the Faith's comp, and it never really could get going because the Sejuani was always marking her, and you saw in that last fight, marking her, getting her with the Q, getting enough marks on her to then get the E off on her. Once that was popped, an immediate ult, so she could not leave, taking more than half of her health and damage in the span of a few seconds, so she could never really affect the fight, which allowed the Twitch to pop off and get that quadra kill. Absolutely beautifully played by the side of Edge of Diamond, especially in that last fight.
Edge of Diamonds managing to hold out 2-1 in this series. I'm very impressed. The fact of the matter is that they decided they could have had a split push game, but the Trimmeter decided to be a part of the team fight every single time, just utilizing that lead that he accumulated to take out the targets like Akali, like you said, and even Jinx. And my goodness, no one knew where the Twitch was. He could have been behind you, to the side of you, spraying and praying everywhere. And because of that, Edge of Diamonds managed to eke out the win, 2-1. Anything to say about this game overall? Anything for the Defend the Faith to reflect on?
I mean, it was very well played by Edge of Diamonds, and I have to say with Defend the Faith, they brought in a lot of high execution comps, where the floor of execution was already very high. If you look at that Twitch comp that the side of Edge of Diamond brought out, it was fairly straightforward in what they wanted to do. You could clearly see how they wanted to play the game, what they wanted to do. But for the side of Defend the Faith in this last game, you had an Akali that wanted to dance around the fight, but you had no real tank that could just sit there and protect this Jinx the way that was needed to, and to also get on top of the Twitch. Akali didn't have a dive buddy to help her with the Twitch, to help her with the Pyke, and it really showed that they didn't quite have the execution down in order to make it work, unfortunately. But it was a very fun and exciting game. They made it close, and they almost had it. It was just a few missteps here and there that unfortunately went to the side of Edge of Diamond and won them the series.
It was absolutely a great demonstration of what simple can do versus complex. In this case, complex was eking out in the beginning, but Super Tank Sejuani and unkillable Tryndamere manages to be the perfect front line for the Twitch and the Ziggs to do what they had to do. I'm very impressed with this game. I'm always loving explosive finishes like game number 3. Anything else to remark before we hand it over to these wonderful people here at Risen Esports?
No, I mean, just what a fun series that was. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. GG's to Edge of Diamond taking the win 2-1. Unfortunately, I believe this was the lower bracket final for Edge of Diamond and Defend the Faith. So winner is moving on, and that is Edge of Diamond. And unfortunately, that ends the season for Defend the Faith. Looking to hopefully see them next season to see what they can bring to the table, because they brought a lot here. I want to see them iterate on it and come back even stronger in the next split.
Absolutely. Risen Esports will always have another season for you to participate in and for you to dominate in. But currently, Quetzalcoatl and Ice Fire will see you guys at the next stream.